This live stream is a copyright of the Tiger Sports Live Stream Network. Reproduction or distribution of this live stream without permission of the Tiger Sports Live Stream Network is a violation of the law.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Grinnell Tiger High School football and our Fall of 25 broadcast season here on the Tiger Sports Live Stream Network. Kicking off things tonight, pun intended, with Grinnell Tigers hosting the Nevada Cubs in football. Alongside Dan Walker, I'm Chris Juni. Glad to have you with us here on this Friday night. And beautiful weather for it, a little warm. But we'll get into more details on our pregame here. We have lots of things to talk about, the new district realignment, the Tigers season, and much, much more coming up as our pregame continues. You are watching the Grinnell Tiger pregame on the Tiger Sports Live Stream Network.
We've been serving you the flavors you savor. Dine in, carry out, or pick up our frozen pizzas for a night in. Our promise to you? Everything is made from scratch, and we only use the freshest ingredients, guaranteed. Plus, get your kids signed up for our Pags Pals program to get free pizza and shirts. Visit polyiesgrinnellia.com or ask your server how to sign up. See you soon at Polyies Pizza Grinnell on 5th Ave between Main and Broad Street.
With rising premium costs, you might be tempted to pull back on how much insurance you carry. But it's still important to have robust coverage from a company you can rely on in case disaster strikes. We believe in neighbors helping neighbors. We've been a trusted source for quality insurance since 1909. We offer both personal and business insurance products, and we can help protect what you value most. You can trust in tomorrow with Grinnell Mutual. For more information, visit grinnellmutual.com.
Weldon Drywall is your local drywall professional, serving a 70-mile perimeter around Iowa City. They provide services to commercial builders, general contractors, and residential homeowners. Projects can include commercial build-outs, new construction for multi-family and residential homes, to remodeling projects such as your new addition to basement drywall projects, even down to the simplest 2x2 patch in your wall. Weldon Drywall is here for you. Check out our website at weldon-drywall.com and fill out our contact form for your free estimate today.
At Ramsey Weeks, it's the synergy of insurance and real estate that makes our local office vibrant. At Ramsey Weeks, our success depends on yours in buying or selling property, in insuring your car, home, farm, or business. In your time of need, our success depends on yours. Ramsey Weeks Insurance and Ramsey Weeks Real Estate, 715 5th Avenue, Grinnell.
And back here at Grinnell High School, TT Craney Field, for our Tiger Sports Live Stream Network pregame, kicking off literally our 2025 football season. Let's take a moment to salute those sponsors that help us keep these broadcasts on the air. They include Polyies Pizza, Mayflower Community, Grinnell Mutual, Mahaska Communication Group, Ramsey Weeks Insurance and Real Estate, Proline Building Company, The Dairy Barn, Weldon Drywall, Prairie Lakes Church, Latitude Signage and Design, Wagon Wheels West, S&S Electric, Grinnell State Bank, Family Dentistry, Unity Point Health, Grinnell Regional Medical Center, also Grinnell Firestone, Mindy Hall's Exit Realty, KGRN, Corey Hall Photography, and the Grinnell Booster Club, along with Strand 3 Theaters, and as you said, Grinnell Firestone. We have our specialty sponsors again, Dan. Our quarters brought to us by Brett Nichols State Farm Insurance, Scoreboard by Kurtz Collision Center, First Downs and Timeouts by Edward Jones, Paul and Mark Colpin, your local representatives. Instant Replay by Clarity Eye Care. We have Cody Flowers again for our On the Field camera. He'll be there as well. Our Red Zone by Polly's Pizza. And a new one this year, our Game Day Football, is brought to us by the Quick Visit Urgent Care on Highway 146 South. And Dan, we talked about every couple of years, the Boys Union, they realign the districts, they shuffle everybody up, and this year some very familiar foes from Little Hawkeye Conference days dot the Tigers' schedule.
We did, and it's really interesting because you would think that we were talking earlier, Coach Mike Baker, he was up here, and he's a volunteer assistant, and he was saying that we were one student off of not being in 3A. That jumped us into this 4A bracket. And, with that being said, a couple of the ones that are familiar for everyone is Newton and Pella that we always played in our original 4A district when we were playing back on 4A. So that is going to be a little bit unique for us. But I thought what we do tonight is just kind of go through the people that are on our schedule, and we'll see how that shakes out, and then we'll kind of go back and forth. I'm sorry that the clouds have been up all afternoon and the sun is just setting in here, so it's kind of bleaching us out. But first up is Bondurant for our Blue Jays. That's going to be our second game of the season. We'll come back and we'll touch on Nevada Cubs because they'll be part of our pregame when we start at 7:15. But Bondurant, their schedule, they had a scrimmage with Nevada. Nevada pretty much handled them pretty well for that game. They'll travel up to Waverly Shell Rock, and then we're going to go there on the September 5th, and that's when Grinnell goes to Bondurant. On the 12th, they'll host Newton, and on the 19th of September, they'll travel to ADM. On the 26th, the Gilbert Tigers are going to come to town, and on October 3rd, they'll play North Polk, and then Carlisle, Ballard, and then end out their season with Des Moines North. So, it seems like Bondurant has lost a little bit from what they have been in the past. And, every town goes through those ups and downs. And, Bondurant's kind of a growing city, a suburb of Des Moines. I think it's probably going to just be a little bit of a lull, and then it'll probably come right back up. Next up is Carlisle. They're third on our schedule. They hosted Creston for their early season practice or underneath your lights or what have you. They're going to travel to Newton and then hit Indianola, and then they'll host Grinnell on the 12th of September. September 19th would be Winterset. The 26th of September, Des Moines North. Gilbert on the 3rd, and Bondurant Farrar on the 10th, and then North Polk and finish out with Ballard at the end of the year. And both of those teams are part of the 4A District 5. So they are non-districts. And then when we get into with Nevada's actually a 3A, but they are a large 3A. And they have some things to talk about. Our last non-district game is going to be Cedar Rapids, Washington. That's going to be District 2, so it's still non-district, but it's a 4A. And the bad thing is when we're playing all these 4A teams, and even though they're non-district, it puts a little pressure on ratings, even though it shouldn't, because a lot of times you either choose a down or an up class to play, but when you're playing someone in the same class as you, it does kind of count in a way of how the state looks at things, especially when it comes to postseason. But Cedar Rapids, Washington in that District 2, they'll play like North Scott, Clinton. The 19th is when they travel here to Grinnell. The 26th, they have Xavier at Kingston Stadium. The 3rd, they travel all the way up to Decorah. On the 10th, they host Waverly Shell Rock for their homecoming. And then the 17th is Mason City. And then the 24th is Waterloo East. So they actually have a little bit, kind of reminds you of the traveling days we were in the last 2 years where we were going all over the place. Next up on our schedule is Clear Creek Amana after the Washington. They're also in our district, so they kind of danced around a little bit on their preseason. They had Regina Catholic for their scrimmage game. They'll travel to Davenport West for non-conference, Davenport North for non-conference, and then Xavier is their other non-conference, plus North Scott, and then it jumps back into the schedule of Grinnell, Marion, Newton, Pella, and Oski. So for Clear Creek Amana, it's kind of a stacked end of their season, how things are going to shake out. And we'll talk a little bit about where that 5-6 week of Grinnell shakes out, because with an injuries that we have, we're going to be getting some kids back just in time for that tough part of the season. Next up on our schedule is the Oskaloosa Indians, again, 4A District 4. They start out with a pre-scrimmage of Des Moines Lincoln. Then they go to Ottumwa, Burlington, Mount Pleasant, and then they also hit Washington, Iowa, so they travel a little bit ways down south, and then they roll into their district schedule of Newton, Grinnell, Pella, Marion, and then Clear Creek Amana to end their season out. Next up, Marion Wolves. So Marion started out with Mount Vernon as their scrimmage. Pretty tough scrimmage for Marion when I went back and looked at it, which Mount Vernon is always going to be a tough one on the bracket. West Delaware, Center Point, Urbana, Davenport North, Mason City, Pella, Clear Creek Amana, Grinnell, Oskaloosa, and then they round out with Newton. And then what we're going to do is, as we go through this preseason, we're not going to name every one of them every time, but we're going to keep a running track of what the scores were for the previous week, especially in our district, to really focus down where people are at. Newton, next up on the schedule, they started out with preseason of Pella Christian, Carlisle, North Polk, Bondurant, Indianola, Oskaloosa, Pella, Clear Creek, Amana, and then Grinnell and Marion to finish out. And the last one is the good old rival of Pella. Pella, I think, is going to be kind of the favorite of the whole district. They got a lot coming back, and with the run that they had at the end of the year, there's no reason why they shouldn't. They had a preseason with PCM, so a strong 2A team. Ballard is going to be the first game of the season tonight, which I just saw pictures of Pella's new press box. They did a renovation stadium, new turf, new stadium box. Jumped up a couple classes on that one. Then they travel to Waverly Shell Rock, travel to North Scott. North Polk comes to town, and then Marion, Newton, Oski, Clear Creek, Amana, and then, of course, the fitting last game of the season is Grinnell and Pella, which has always been traditional when we played Pella in the past.
And that is here at TT Cranny, too, to close out
here.
the season.
So, I might have to do a little thinking. Maybe last time we played Pella at home was we had a game day. So maybe I could bring out some old stuff and see if we can bring a game day situation back. But that is kind of the lineup of what our schedule looks like and who they play. So why don't we take another break?
Sounds good. We'll take this break, come back. We'll go over a couple of rule changes with you, kind of set the stage for tonight's game as you're watching the Tiger Sports Livestream Network pregame on the Tiger Sports Livestream Network.
This is a story about signs. It's also a story about people's experiences. The humble sign. They are everywhere. But signs are more than just a plaque on the wall, an arrow, or letters on a building exterior. Signs help you leave a legacy or start a new chapter in life. All those signs have to start somewhere, and that's where we come in. We are your trusted partner in everything signage and We'll be your trusted partner throughout. Because signs do more than point the way. They help the world make sense.
We're helping build your dreams at the Proline Building Company. Quality that you can trust in every building we construct. Proline is the place to know. We're committed to helping your dreams grow.
Up to the high school through fundraising, membership drives, concession stand revenues at all the home events. There are many different ways you can get involved. One, through membership levels from a single, a family, even into the business. There are many attractive levels that you can be a part of this wonderful club. Your membership funds help support uniforms, warm-ups, summer speed camps, baseball and softball batting cages, and the list goes on. You want to be a part of a great group? Join the Grinnell Booster Club today.
Hey Tiger fans, I'm Pastor Phil inviting you to try church at Prairie Lakes, where you'll hear that God loves you no matter what. Parents, your kids are going to love learning about God in our safe and fun children's environments, so no matter where you're at with what you believe, you can look for God at Prairie Lakes Church. Go Tigers, and I hope to see you soon.
Grasshoppers, turtles, polar bears, and chunky monkeys? The Dairy Barn, located at 1810 6th Avenue in Grinnell, is not your typical barnyard. Stop by before or after the big ball game to pick up your favorite ice cream or flavor of the day yogurt. They also have a full line of delicious foods, including tenderloins, pulled pork sandwiches, popular chicken wraps, and much, much more. Don't have time to stop at the barn? Catch them on the move at some of the favorite events around Grinnell, or give us a call and try out our catering. And don't forget to check out www.dairybarngrinnell.com to order online or the Chow Now app. Remember, I scream, you scream, we all scream for Dairy Barn.
Hey Grinnell Tigers, Skip Lowe with Northwest Partners. Great to see you for another season. As a reminder, Winning is not everything, it's the only thing, according to Vince Lombardi. Also, a reminder, good sportsmanship is going to carry you through life. Please come see us at Northwest Partners. We're located in Grinnell. Give us a call at 641-528-6088. Love to talk to you about our community-owned health plan. $0 deductibles, out-of-pocket expenses for all of your services. Go Tigers, win now.
Back here at TT Craney Field as our Tiger Sports Livestream Network pregame continues. Want to go over some rules changes. Every year the National High School Association and the State Association, they do some rule changes. Not a lot of real big ones this year, but a couple of them. One in particular talks about the field of play and what happens during the game as far as playing conditions. Most of the rest of them are like uniforms and some other things that we'll touch on. But the main one is last year, if a ball carrier fumbled the ball, if it went forward out of bounds, they spotted the ball where the ball went out of bounds. This year they got rid of that. Now, whenever there's a fumble and it goes out of bounds, they return the ball back to the spot of the fumble. So, I mean, that could be a whole bunch of yards. It could be no yards. But that's one of the big rule changes we'll have to keep an eye on. Also, you can now use electronic signs to call in plays from the sideline, or signals are like a set of numbers. You know, a lot of the players you see, they wear the wristband. They flip up the coach calls out a number, and then they will look down at the wristband and get the play call. But you can have no audio or in-helmet communications this year. So that's another big rule change. And the rest of them are having to do with uniforms, undergarments, those things like that. So really not a lot to talk about there. As Dan said, the Tigers are now in Class 4A by just one student. And we want to talk about, we're going to be joining our partner KGRN, who's going to be broadcasting the audio portion of this game. They'll be coming on board here any moment, so we'd like to welcome them along, too, to our Tiger Sports Livestream Network family. So as I said, part of the scheduling, when every 2 years rather, they flip the districts around and drop teams in. And this year, as Dan said, some of our district games this year were in Class 4A, District 4. We have Clear Creek, Amana, Marion. Then we have three teams that everybody's familiar with from the old Little Hawkeye Conference days: Oskaloosa, Newton, and of course the Pella Dutch. And as you said, Dan, they just seem to reload every year, and they do come to TT Craney for the last game of the season. So we'll have all those games for you right here on the Tiger Sports Livestream Network. And just like last year, when the games are at home, you will see video like you're seeing now. When it's audio, you just get to hear my voice, as I'll be traveling next week to Bondurant, to Blue Jay Country, to bring the game to you radio style. And again, all these games will be simulcast on KGR Radio 2 AM 1410 on your radio dial. Teams are taking the warm-ups, and Tigers have a bit of adversity to deal with right away. One of their stalwart offensive linemen, Will Slagle, he's a sophomore, already has several Division I offers. He is out for the conceivable future for at least 4 to 6 weeks. He has a lower leg injury, so will not be playing. And then, of course, gone is Brady Kaufman, Dan. And, that means quarterback spot was wide open. A couple players competed for it, and according to Coach Haydenfeld, Eddie Harsheim is going to get the starting nod tonight.
Yeah, I think it's been a pretty good battle, actually, through the whole startup of the season. They had some good the 7-on-7 camp that they ran all summer, and just really had the ability to kind of move people around, find out who's going to fit in the wide receiver position, where that quarterback is, to pick them up and see the reads and know where the ball needs to go. That's, of course, elimination of turnovers. That's always the big deal when you start with a new quarterback. When you've had Brady Kaufman in place for, almost 3.5 years. I mean, he played a little bit his freshman year. So, yeah, pretty much.
And interesting, Nevada's in the same boat. Of course, last year, they won their first playoff game. They made the playoffs last year. They beat Sioux City Bishop Heelan, a perennial powerhouse, beat them in the first round, then lost in the quarterfinals. So the Cubs looking to get back there, but they also have a new quarterback this year. And getting the nod this year, senior quarterback Drake Henson, listed as 6'4", 200 pounds. So a couple of quarterbacks getting their first varsity start. We'll keep an eye on that as well. Again, we have Lori Walker here, providing the pictures for us up here. She's up here with a smile on her face, enjoying this nice warm weather. And then, as you said, Cody Flowers, the other member of our broadcast team, will be down on the field, bringing us field-level views and part of our Clarity Eye Care instant replay. We'll take this break and hear from more of our sponsors, as we're still maybe about 15, 20 minutes away from game time. But we want to say you are watching the Grinnell Tiger football on the Tiger Sports Livestream Network.
Hi there, this is Joey Pollyi, third generation owner of Pollyi's in Grinnell. Since 1957, we've been serving the flavors you savor. We only use the freshest ingredients for our salads, sandwiches, pasta, and pizza, guaranteed. Plus, don't forget about our award-winning Liquid Gold Ranch and Champagne Cake. Also, keep an eye out on our social media where we release limited time pizza specials like a pickle wrap, sweet corn, and buffalo chicken pizzas, just to name a few. See you soon at Pollyi's in downtown Grinnell.
When change and uncertainty define the times, it's good to anchor to your roots, to honor and nurture them, to remember how it all started, and let that help build the future. Because we know a strong future is built on a solid past, and that past promises mean future follow-through. You can trust us to protect what you grow, build, own, and value. Trust in tomorrow with Grinnell Mutual.
At Ramsey Weeks, it's the synergy of insurance and real estate that makes our local office vibrant. At Ramsey Weeks, our success depends on yours in buying or selling property, in insuring your car, home, farm, or business. In your time of need, our success depends on yours. Ramsey Weeks Insurance and Ramsey Weeks Real Estate, 715 Fifth Avenue, Grinnell.
Back here at TT Crane Field, getting set for the start. First game of the 2025 football season, Grinnell Tigers and the Nevada Cubs. Alongside Dan Walker, I'm Chris Juni. There we are. Nice to see you again. Glad to have you with us here on this Friday night. First of 9 Fridays we're going to be with you this year, bringing Tiger football home to you. Also, we have volleyball this fall. Next Thursday is the first home volleyball game. You can see all our broadcast schedule. Our website is on the watermark there. Just add the .com after it, and that is our website where our schedule is, links to the games, and all kinds of things.
And, you know, this is the first year we put it on our schedule. We did kind of a demo try last year with the swimming. So we actually have 4 girls swimming meets that are on there. And it's going to be a little bit different look for people because we have volleyball games going the same night as swimming. So there'll be just 2 different streams out there. People could choose what they want to watch. But we do have 5 cameras set up within the Grinnell natatorium, I believe is the official word.
Natatorium.
So that'll be able to be viewed on one stream, and I'll be taking that with the Hammonds, and Chris will be doing the volleyball inside the gymnasium at the main gym. So,
and we did that in softball and baseball. For you folks at home, when you get to the schedule on our website, there'll be 2 links. If you want to watch swimming, you click on that link. If you want to hear the volleyball, you click on that link, and you can go back and forth, keep 2 windows up, and switch back and forth. But, yeah, another service we like to provide is being the voice of Grinnell Tigers. So tonight's game, Nevada Cubs come down from just outside of Ames. They are in Class 3A, District 5, as Dan mentioned. They're coached by Andrew Kleeman. They were 8-3 last year. As you said, they beat Sioux City Bishop Heelan in the first round of the football playoffs. That's impressive because Bishop Heelan is traditionally a pretty good powerhouse. Then they lost in the quarterfinals. But their quarterback is gone. Drake Hinson, as you said, gets a nod. He's a senior quarterback, 6'4", 200 pounds. And one thing, Dan, that jumps out at me when you look at Nevada's roster and just seeing the players on the field is they have some big boys out there. There's some pretty good size out there on all across the board for the Cubs.
They do. And, you know, you and I have talked about this more than once, that when you have towns that are so close to some bigger cities, as in, you know, Nevada's like a 12-minute drive from Ames. You know, what is the pull there? You know, Nevada has a really good school district. They have been having really good football programs, so they actually might be getting some parents that say, hey, let's settle in Nevada, Iowa. It's a suburb. It takes me 15 minutes to drive to work, and it's pretty slick. So, you know, unfortunately, Grinnell's just a little bit further than that suburb mark, but, you know, you never know. Someday it might start to kick in.
Well, and we've seen that, too, with when we were in the Little Hawkeye Conference, Dallas Center Grimes. They got a bunch of Des Moines people to kind of head up that way. Southeast Polk, Norwalk, again, getting Des Moines kids and and all the schools around there leading out to those, because the parents, they don't want to deal with the hustle and bustle of the city or for whatever various number of reasons. So they move up there, and it just happens to be a pretty good school system, and their kids get to participate.
Well, and here's a fun fact. This goes all the way back into the 70s. So when the Central Iowa Conference that Grinnell was a part of, South Tama, and then there's Ankeny, Urbandale, Indianola, Newton was inside of that. Grinnell and South Tama were the two largest at one time in the Central Iowa Conference. And then from there, as it started to grow, I mean, it kind of teeter-totter. South Tama was a powerhouse. I mean, they had 2 or 3 undefeated years, 70, 71, 72. And then once the population started to jump, and then they started to be a little bit more competitive in Ankeny, Urbandale, and these other suburbs. And, it wasn't until the late 80s, I think that really pushed the conversation of we probably need to have district football, because even with the Little Hawkeye Conference, when it was in place, districts were just getting kind of unsized. When you're playing a 5-on-5 basketball game, it's one thing, but when you're playing 11-on-11 and you have 11-11 with 40 kids versus 60 kids on the sideline, it's tough to compete against.
Grinnell Tigers come into this game, of course. They missed the playoffs by 1 spot last year. I think it was by less than 1 point in the final quadratic formula, triple calculus formulas that they used to decide the playoffs. But they were 6-3 last year, had a pretty good year under Coach Adam Haydenfeld, who returns to coach the Tigers. Again, moved up from Class 3 to Class 4A, District 4. And they come back, again, same thing as like Nevada. We lost our quarterback, Brady Kaufman, 3-year starter for the Tigers. And as we found out, Eddie Harsheim, a sophomore, 5'11", 175, is going to get the starting nod tonight from Coach Haydenfeld. So we'll keep an eye on that. And then, of course, how the Tigers, drop a player into Will Slago's left tackle spot. He was a big anchor on that side. Obviously going to be missed, but there is encouragement. I've heard from talking to people. They do expect Will back later on, about 4 to maybe 6 weeks out.
Yep, that's exactly. I talked to him down on the field earlier. So
well, there we go. We heard it right from the man himself. So Will be back, and the Tigers just, again, it's an old cliche when we talk about it, but next person up. And somebody has an opportunity to go out there and show what they can do, and they will definitely get that. Some terms now that we talk about, because not everybody's familiar with football if you're watching it for the first time, and I'll do the same when we get to volleyball next week. But you hear things like on TV, and they try to explain it, but like A-gap and, soft cover and zero coverage and all that. And we won't go too far into it, but a lot of times you'll see players talk about the A-gap and B-gap. So if you think of the offensive line, there's a center in the middle, then you got 2 guards on either side of the center, and then 2 tackles outside the guards. So you got the center, that gap on either side of the center, between the center and the 2 guards, that's called the A-gap. So when you hear people talk about that, like, oh, there's a blitzer, it came right up the A-gap, that's what they're talking about. And then there's a B-gap and C-gap and so forth. But you don't really hear so much about B and C-gap, most of the A-gap. And then there's other things, too, like a screen pass and some other funky rules. And as those pop up throughout the season, we'll take our time to make sure we explain those to you. So we're getting set here for the start of the game. I see on the field our honor guard and VFW post are getting ready to present the colors here. And we'll be having that shortly. But we just want to take this break, let you hear from more of our fine sponsors to help keep us on the air. As you say, you're watching Tiger Football on the Tiger Sports Live Stream Network.
Weldon Drywall is your local drywall professional, serving a 70-mile perimeter around Iowa City. They provide services to commercial builders, general contractors, and residential homeowners. Projects can include commercial build-outs, new construction for multi-family and residential homes, to remodeling projects such as your new addition to basement drywall projects, even down to the simplest 2x2 patch in your wall. Weldon Drywall is here for you. Check out our website at weldon-drywall.com and fill out our contact form for your free estimate today.
This is a story about signs. It's also a story about people's experiences. The humble sign. They are everywhere. But signs are more than just a plaque on the wall, an arrow, or letters on a building exterior. Signs help you leave a legacy or start a new chapter in life. All those signs have to start somewhere, and that's where we come in. We're your trusted partner in everything signage and graphics.
Mayflower Community is currently hiring nursing staff. If you are passionate about healthcare and the well-being of older adults, Mayflower community wants you. Employees enjoy a daily meal, coffee, cappuccino, and lotus drinks, fitness center, and a family-oriented work culture that is flexible with your needs. You will find competitive pay and benefits. Mayflower community, a place to call home and a great place to work. For more information, visit our website at mayflowerhomes.com or call 641-236-6151.
Tired of bad internet and bad service? Switch to MCG and experience the benefits of better internet. We employ a local team that answers the phone when you call. We provide same-day support and symmetrical upload and download. We offer benefits like free install, free router, and no introductory pricing. We offer internet that works when you need it. No data caps, no fine print, and absolutely no hidden fees. Sign up with MCG today and experience the benefits of better internet service.
The Dairy Barn, located at 1810 6th Avenue in Grinnell. Stop by before or after the big ball game to pick up your favorite ice cream or flavor of the day yogurt. They also have a full line of delicious foods, including tenderloins, pulled pork sandwiches, popular chicken wraps, and much, much more. Don't have time to stop at the barn? Catch them on the move at some of the favorite events around Grinnell, or give us a call and try out our catering. And don't forget to check out www.dairybarngrinnell.com to order online or the Chow Now app. Remember, I scream, you scream, we all scream for Dairy.
Hey, Tiger fans, I'm Pastor Phil inviting you to try church at Prairie Lakes, where you'll hear that God loves you no matter what. Parents, your kids are going to love learning about God in our safe and fun children's environments, so no matter where you're at with what you believe, you can look for God at Prairie Lakes Church. Go Tigers, and I hope to see you soon.
Back here at TT Cranny Field, getting set for the start of the 2025 high school football season. Grinnell Tigers hosting the Nevada Cubs out of the Raccoon River Conference from up by Ames. You see on our camera up here, we have the VFW post getting ready to present the colors of the flag. And the Grinnell Tiger Marching Band making their way out as well. So in football this year, again, Tigers move up to Class 4A, some familiar foes, and I know as a coach, Dan, you know, you've played football too and done other sports. You never really know what you're going to get. You have practices, you have a scrimmage, so you have an idea. It's more like, at least for me it was, well, I think I know what I have and I hope they perform like they do, but until they get out there on an official game like tonight with the fans in the stands, the band, the whole works, and everything going on, you just really don't know what's going to happen, especially with two first varsity quarterbacks getting their first varsity taste tonight.
Yeah, and you know, we saw that right away on the freshman game. They fired it up, they did the kickoff, and they had 3 whistles just to start the ball game. You know, people get nervous, they get the jitters, they can't figure out where they need to be. They're lining up in the neutral zone. So those are all things that, you know, you talked about terminology. That's the big one is, you know, the interfering in that neutral zone or lining up. And then people are going to ask the questions like, well, the offense lined up and they got called aside. How come the defense, they jumped in it and then jumped back? How come they didn't get a flag? So we'll talk a little bit about that as we go. And it's a learning curve for everyone out there.
Yeah, there's a bunch of little rules, as I said earlier, that as those rules and situations come up, we can explain why. But to Dan's point on that, if the offense moves at all, it's a false start or illegal procedure. The defense can't jump and come across as long as they don't make contact with an offensive player or cause the offensive player to jump, and they get back in time, that contact is usually ignored. So as you see now, they're coming on there with getting ready for the national anthem. We also have our kid captains coming up here tonight, which we're going to be doing. Talk about some of these newer sponsors, too, we have, Dan. You had mentioned earlier that we have Quick Visit Urgent Care is doing a thing tonight.
Yep, so our game ball is brought to you by Quick Visit Urgent Care. So that is the game ball of the whole football field. So we want to give a shout out and a thank you to Quick Visit Urgent Care for sponsoring the game ball, and that's every home football game. So thank you to that.
All right, I think we are getting ready now for the national anthem, and we're going to pause. National anthem on the Tiger Sports live stream network. All right, our national anthem as provided by the Grinnell High School Marching Band. And we are getting closer and closer to that inaugural kickoff. Some other sponsors we have, Dan, if you wouldn't mind putting them up for folks. Of course, we have the Strand 3 Theaters back. We'll get their weekly shows. They're a big supporter. As you see here, showing at the Strand 3 Theaters this weekend, the long holiday weekend. What a great time to go out and have a bite downtown and then go catch a movie. We got Caught Stealing, rated R. Jaws, a 50th anniversary, rated PG. I tried to get my wife to say, you want to go back and see that? And I got a resounding no to that one. But I'd love to see it again. It was a great movie. Weapons, rated R. And then Freakier Friday, about 10 years or 15 years after the original, Jamie Lee Curtis and I can't think of her name, Lindsay Lohan, back for that one. That's showing at the Strand 3 Theaters this weekend. Then we also have a new sponsor too, Grinnell Firestone, that has weekly specials for us. We'll pop that up here. As you see, you can save instantly when you buy 2 or more eligible Bridgestone or Firestone Ag tires. And also, they have buying regular Firestone tires, $300 off all eligible AD, IF, and VF radial tires and Bridgestone radials, $200 off all eligible non-AD radial tires, and $25 off Destination Farm and Destination Turf at Grinnell Firestone, Highway 6 East in Grinnell. More sponsors for us, and we're happy to have them on board again, helping us bring these ball games home to you. So, Dan, you've been in these situations as a player, and you've also coached. In the locker room now, you know, they're getting the final instructions from the coaches and this and that. What is the key that you suppose is being said by both Coach Haydenfeld and also Coach Kleeman?
Yeah, the big thing is just it's your first game. You know, everyone had the scrimmage last week. They probably hopefully got all their jitters and everything out of the way, but, you know, it's composure. This is game time. So when you start to step out on that field, we're stepping out into a game that counts. You know, and you know, the big thing is when you're a 4A in this 4A class and you're saying that you're playing a 3A, Nevada is not a team that we could look over as being a 3A team that's going to be a pushover team. Nevada come in here tonight, and they're going to be a very tough competition for the Grinnell Tigers. So you just have to separate that and move that aside and say, this is what we're going to do.
So be anxious to see, again, both quarterbacks getting their first varsity start. And as anybody can tell you, the actual playing field or playing conditions or actual game conditions are much, much different than they are in practice. So we'll have to keep an eye on that, as well as developing stories. How does the Tiger line hold up, losing one of their main anchors, Will Slagle? See how that develops and see if Nevada can rekindle that magic from last year when they had a good run, beat a lot of good teams, and won their first playoff game en route to a quarterfinal playoff berth. We'll take this final break for more members of our sponsors. We'll take this break, a 2-minute break, and come back in 2 minutes with our kickoff and kid captains. You're watching high school football on the Tiger Sports Livestream Network.
Hey Tiger fans, Colton here at Wagon Wheels West in Grinnell, and today's game day boot is this men's Twisted X boot. This boot is going to be super comfortable with that self-stretch technology while also being greatly durable if you have to go and work in the yard or you're out on the job all day. This is going to be the boot for you. But don't get it twisted. This boot is going to look wonderful under a nice pair of blue jeans if you got to go out on the town. And stop in, try it, and good luck, Tigers.
Hi there, this is Joey Pollyi, third generation owner of Pollyi's in Grinnell. Since 1957, we've been serving the flavors you savor. We only use the freshest ingredients for our salads, sandwiches, pasta, and pizza, guaranteed. Plus, don't forget about our award-winning Liquid Gold Ranch and Champagne Cake. Also, keep an eye out on our social media where we release limited-time pizza specials like a pickle wrap, sweet corn, and buffalo chicken pizzas, just to name a few. See you soon at Pollyi's in downtown Grinnell.
When change and uncertainty define the times, it's good to anchor to your roots, to honor and nurture them, to remember how it all started, and let that help build the future. Because we know a strong future is built on a solid past, and that past promises mean future follow-through. You can trust us to protect what you grow, build, own, and value. Trust in tomorrow with Grinnell Mutual.
At Ramsey Weeks, it's the synergy of insurance and real estate that makes our local office vibrant. At Ramsey Weeks, our success depends on yours in buying or selling property, in insuring your car, home, farm, or business. In your time of need, our success depends on yours. Ramsey Weeks Insurance and Ramsey Weeks Real Estate. 715 Fifth Avenue, Grinnell.
Back here at TT Cranny High School as the band just finished playing, and we're getting ready for the introduction of the Tigers. Going to run out on the field, and we also have our kids captains that we can talk about for tonight. Our kids captains for tonight's ball game are Landry Stubbs and Dylan Cummings. Both boys are in the 6th grade at Grinnell Middle School, and both play football on their YSF football teams. So our kids captains once again, Landry Stubbs and Dylan Cummings. And you see right there our on-field camera person, Cody Flowers, has a shot. Here come the Tigers, led by Bruce Kriegel as always. Coming out there, the Tiger Paw leading it out, and here they come. Bruce getting them all pumped up there. And football is now officially back. Here come the Tigers. And again, our kids captains, Landry Stubbs and Dylan Cummings, both boys in 6th grade. Cody about got run over there. He's going to have some hazard pay dodging those people around there. So we are set for football. It's back. And, of course, tomorrow, a vast majority of college teams kick it off. Iowa State, of course, 1-0, beating Kansas State. They host South Dakota State tomorrow afternoon at Jack Trice Stadium. That's a 2:30 kick. Iowa Hawkeyes kick off their 2025 season hosting the Albany Great Danes at Kinnick Stadium. That is a 5 p.m. kickoff. And, of course, you and I played. Drake played last night. Everybody's kicking things off this weekend for the most part. Now we're going to come out here for the coin toss. Get that here from Cody Flowers. He's zooming in here to see the coin toss from our referee. Tiger captains look like Jack Gallagher, Jake Van Compernoll, Keaton Iverson, and it looks like Grinnell won the toss. They're deferring, so Nevada will get the ball first. Tigers will be on defense first. And we are set for football. You see number 3 there for Nevada. That is their quarterback, Drake Hinson, out there as well. Senior getting his first varsity start, as well as his counterpart, sophomore Eddie Harsheim, for the Tigers, getting his first varsity start. Clock's at 0. It's going to be set to 12 minutes, and we are set for high school football. Our first quarter brought to us by Brett Nichols, State Farm Insurance, alongside Dan Walker. I'm Chris Ginney. Lori Walker on our camera up here. Cody Flowers, our on-field camera. Happy to have you with us here as we start our 2025-2026 broadcast season of Tiger Sports right here on the Tiger Sports live stream network. Back deep for Nevada, you have number 6, Carson Clem, and also number 4, Isaac Williams, back deep for Nevada. Kicking off for Grinnell. Try to catch the number here. Check that. Clay Franzen is actually back deep. For Grinnell, kicking off as number 50. That'll be Tyler Kostow. Waiting for the ready to play from Grinnell. From the referee in the end zone. There's the whistle, and here we go. Kostow approaches the ball, and Tiger football is underway. Scrib kick down, gets past one person, is going to trickle out of bounds, but wasn't touched. They throw the flag, so the ruler was not touched. And that'll be a procedure penalty against Grinnell, so Nevada will actually start the ball 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line. Tiger defense settles in. See if we can read some of those numbers coming up here. We have Benny Kapanzu back at one safety. Brooks Vosberg's another. Trenton Holes at one corner. And Kellen Hart at another. And Drake Hinson steps in. Senior quarterback for the Cubs. And coach Andrew Kleeman takes the snap, shotgun snap, hands the ball off over the left side. And nice run by the ball carrier. That's 22, Jaden Grimm, a senior running back, 5'11", 170. Gets out across the 40 to about the 44-yard line. Tackled that time by number 23, Jack Gallagher, also number 9, Trenton Holes. Pickup of 9 on the play. Brings up 2nd down and 1. Just underway here at TT Cranny Field. No score between Grinnell and Nevada. Tiger football and the Tiger Sports live stream number again being broadcast also on KGR and radio AM 1410. Hinson Hands the ball off, and this time his back is met right in the backfield. Grim the ball carrier. Getting in there quickly was Kapanzu. Also number 15, Trenton Scheck. And number 23, Jack Gallagher. Big stop there. They maybe gave him a half yard or so. So it's going to bring up third down and less than a yard for the Cubs here. Be interesting to see if Nevada does not make it, what Coach Kleeman decides to do here. Third and less than 1. Hinson, the shotgun, turns, hands the ball off, and his back is met right at the point of the attack and driven back. Wow, Trenton Scheck with a tackle, but they're going to give him forward progress. Does get the first down, I think. Yes, they did move the chains. So, but boy, what a great play by Trenton Scheck that time. Just shot in that gap and planted him right back. But again, a judgment call by the officials. They ruled his forward progress did make it to the line to gain, which was the 45. So 1st and 10 for Nevada. Scheck in the shotgun has been the whole game. Back to his left. Now he's changing the play up. They check the wristbands, get the play call in, and now we have a flag down thrown by the linesman on the far side. Probably somebody lined up wrong, or they have microphones now. He's talking to the referee. It's a dead ball foul, illegal procedure against Nevada. That's one of those penalties. I've talked to football officials, and they just put that out there because that can cover a whole multitude of things. Too many for us to explain, but it could be anything. So that cost them 5 yards. They get to keep the first down, so it's 1st down and 15 now for the Cubs back at their own 40-yard line. Again, Hinson in the shotgun. Single back to his left. Hands the ball off. Different ball. No, it's still Grimm with the ball. Gets out across the 40 to about the 43. Tackle made that time, among others, by Lincoln Stensrud. Also number 56 in there, Jared Wickwire for the Tigers. Picked up about 4, so it's going to bring up 2nd down and 11. Now we have a whistle, and they stop the clock for, they have a player showing some sign of injury, or I'm not sure what that was. But now we resume play. No score between Grinnell and Nevada, as you see on our Kurtz Collision Center scoreboard. Hinson's first pass, sidearm throw, shot, complete. Caught by number 4, Isaac Williams, and then they say the ball popped out. Tigers jump on it, but referees are saying no completion, incomplete pass. What a stick put on by that time. Couldn't see who that was, damn. It looked like Keaton Iverson was right there. Okay, Vosberg with a stick, and that knocked the ball loose. Tigers thought they had a fumble recovery, but the officials ruled no completion, so incomplete pass brings up 3rd down and 11. Hinson now in the shotgun once again, single back to his right. Tigers back on defense, just rushing 4. Hinson fires out to the flat, trying to hit his receiver just off the fingertips. Intended out there for number 29, Lucas Brown. Pass falls incomplete, so after 1 first down, Tiger defense gets a big stop, and the Cubs will have to punt. Back to punt for Nevada, number 21 is Owen Lofton. Back deep for Grinnell, number 17, Kai Smith, sophomore for Coach Haydenfeld. But check that, Brooks Vosberg, my apologies. Brooks Vosberg back deep. Number 21 for Nevada is Austin Waldera, is the kicker back. Helps if I look at the right roster. 4th and 11 for Nevada. There's a snap. Punt is a low kick. Vosberg's going to let it bounce, and he does pick it up. Gets past the initial person. Now might have some room up and gets caught up in the traffic and brought down. Good coverage by the Cubs. But Vosberg gets out to the 23-yard line where he's tackled, and Tigers will set up shop. 1st and 10 at their own 23.
Now we get to see what Mr. Harsheim has underneath the hood here.
We saw Drake Hinson take his first 3 snaps, kind of throws the pass a little bit sidearm, but he gets it there. Again, Cubs picked up 1 first down, but then got stalled. We'll see how the Tigers do here. So Eddie Harsheim, a sophomore, lines up, has his running back to his right. Harsheim takes a snap, gives the ball off to his that running back, and Tigers over the left side, plowing ahead. Josh Ringler, 6 foot, 200-pound running back, plows out across the 25 to about the 28-yard line.
Let's take another look at that. I just got to make sure. get our instant replay working here correctly. It's not working correctly, folks, so
we will get work on that and hopefully bring you some instant replays here later on. So pick up a 4, 2nd down and 6 now for the Tigers. 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right, 1 back, single back in the backfield for Harsheim. Takes a snap, his first pass, throws it out in the flat. A little too tall, and it's tipped and picked off by Nevada. Getting the interception out there is number 2. That is Cole Beving. So Cole Beving gets the interception, returns the ball down inside the 20 to about the 19. Looks like where they're going to spot the ball. Pass just a little too tall and went off the receiver's hands into the hands of the Nevada safety. And Cubs get the first turnover of the ball game. So they set up shop 1st and 10 at the Tiger. Looks like about the 18-yard line. Hinson in at quarterback. Shotgun. Gives the ball off to his tailback. Up the middle is Grimm. Over the left side, dragging tacklers. Jaden Grimm, 5'11", 170. Down inside the 15 to about the 13-yard line. Tackled that time by Ringler, among others, for Grinnell. Pick up a 5, brings up 2nd down and 5. Just underway first quarter here, 8:20 and counting left to go in the first quarter. Nevada and Grinnell, no scores. You see in our Cursed Collision Center scoreboard. Chris Junie, Dan Walker, Lori Walker, Cody Flowers here with you. Hinson takes the snap, gives off to his tailback. This time it's number 21. Breaks a tackle and runs and gets stuck down. That is hard running by Austin Waldera. Gets tackled down that time by Jack Gallagher. But not before he gets down inside the 10 to about the 6-yard line, 7-yard line. Going to be 1st and goal now for the Nevada Cubs. Big moment here in this ball game.
yeah, I'm sure they're going to take a look a little bit and see what they can fill in those gaps on that side. As you can see, the Nevadas go ahead and pull, and they're going to run almost a power slot off that right slide.
There's a handoff to Waldera around the right side. He's dragged and dragged down, and Nevada wanted a horse collar.
I think it was 100% jersey is being pulled, though, so.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the rule is on that. I don't know if jersey counts if you reach in and get the shoulder pads as well, but he definitely was pulled down from behind, but no flag. So pickup of 1 brings up 2nd and goal from the 6-yard line.
Take a quick look at it there on the Clarity Eye Care instant replay, but
you can tell that was a big handful of jersey from the Clarity Eye Care instant replay. Thanks to Cody Flowers for bringing us that highlight. Hinson now, the shotgun. Changing the play up is the coach. Now they look at the wristbands, get the play in. 3 on the clock. Hinson on the keeper, rolling out, running pass option, throws across the end zone, and pass is caught. The ball comes out, though. Let's see. Now they're going to wave it off. Pass was caught initially by the Nevada player. That looked like number 46 had it in his hands. Or 43, Sterling Smith. But then a nice play by the Tiger defenseman. Didn't give up on it, knocked the ball loose. And an incomplete pass. So now it's going to be 3rd down and goal. Ball spotted down. Looks like about the 4-yard line. So big play in this game. Obviously 2-down territory for the Cubs here. Man in motion to the near side. Hinson in the shotgun. Looking things over. And takes the snap. Turns, gives the ball to his back. Grimm was up the middle, and he will walk in for a touchdown. Check that. That's number 21, Austin Waldera. 6 foot, 190-pound senior running back. Pretty good tandem between Waldera and Grimm, 21-22. And the Nevada Cubs. Again, we have our Clarity Eye Care instant replay right here from Cody Flowers. You see just good blocking at the point of attack. Didn't really meet an orange hat or a black hat until right before the goal line. So good blocking by the Cubs here. Kicking the extra point for Nevada, number 88, Cedar Smith. They line up way to the right just in case. Now they will all jog back over. Attempt the traditional extra point. Smith's snap is down, kick is up, and it is good. 6:40 left to go here. The first quarter. Nevada leads Grinnell 7-0. You're watching high school softball. We'll take a 1-minute break. Start watching high school football, not softball. Thank you, Lori Walker, on the Tiger Sports Live Stream Network.
We're helping build your dreams at the ProLine Building Company. Quality that you can trust in every building we construct. ProLine is the place to know.
Weldon Drywall is your local drywall professional, serving a 70-mile perimeter around Iowa City. They provide services to commercial builders, general contractors, and residential homeowners. Projects can include commercial build-outs, new construction for multi-family and residential homes, to remodeling projects such as your new addition to basement drywall projects, even down to the simplest 2x2 patch in your wall. Weldon Drywall is here for you. Check out our website at weldon-drywall.com and fill out our contact form for your free estimate today.
Back here at TT Crane Field for the kickoff. 7-0. Nevada on top of Grinnell. Just first quarter, 6:40 left to go in that first quarter. Kickoff is short. Caponzu overruns it. Now he has to grab it. He is hit right away. So Caponzu at least gets the kick because that is a free ball. What that means is, had Benny not got on that, Nevada can recover that and had the ball or even picked it up and taken it in for a touchdown.
Yeah, I'm sure number 6, Clay Franzen, his eyes got pretty big when he saw that thing take a jump, but Clay did a good job of covering that ball and covering the player and make sure he got him down.
So Tigers set up shop, 1st and 10. Ball spotted down about the 16-yard line. Again, Eddie Harsheim getting his first start. Tigers have 2 receivers right, 1 left. Single back in the backfield. Harsheim now man in motion. Comes in tight. Here's it turns. He gives the ball off. That is Josh Ringler again. Tripped up about the 19, falls forward to about the 20. Going to maybe get 3 on the play. Bring up 2nd down and 7.
Just want to give a shout out to everyone that's watching us on the Tiger Sports Livestream Network YouTube channel. If you like what you're seeing, go ahead and give us a thumbs up. If you're new and you're a Grinnell fan, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and you could be notified every time we go online.
So 2nd down and 7 now for the Tigers. Tigers do a lot of pre-snap movement. They started with 4 receivers wide. Now they bring to 1 receiver wide. And they hand the ball off to Ringler. Ringler over the left side just lowers his shoulder again. 6 foot, about 200 pounds, and finally there was a whistle. He stopped. Looks like he's right at that 1st down marker. Going to be just shy. Clarity eye carriers to replay coming here. You see just the push he got from behind and just kept those legs churning, plus some help from his lineman. Now we're going to have an official timeout. I think they might be going to measure this here. Yep, it's official timeout for a measurement.
And while we're talking about our sponsors here, just kind of an update. We brought in quite a few brand new sponsors that are flashing up there in that business card. So all the commercials that you see, but we also want to give a shout out to S&S Electric, Unity Point, the Grinnell Hospital, Family Dentistry, and Grinnell State Bank, and also our Booster Club. Without the Booster Club, there's a lot of things that this football team and all the sports in Grinnell could not do. So visiting that Booster Club concession stand down there is the first star of it. They also, if you're at the ball game, they have shirts and sweatshirts and signs that go in your front yard. So we want to make sure that we give a little bit of love back, because that not only are the fans in the stands, which we have a great crowd tonight, but it's the extra money that the Booster Club does for things that people don't really know about. So again, thank you to that Grinnell Booster Club.
And the 1st down was marked just short. Official held his hands about 12 inches apart, so about a foot short of the 1st down. So chain gang members now have to get back to the sideline. The officials mark the ball. It's going to be 3rd down and less than 1 for Grinnell. And now I can ask the same question that I asked when Coach Kleeman had a 3rd and short. If the Tigers don't make it, does Coach Haydenfeld roll the dice, and does he go for it even this deep in his territory?
I think at this point you have to right now, just to see if you can push the ball. That last drive by Josh Ringler is showing that they can move that line. You just got to pick your hole and make some grass across there, move out of your way.
Hopefully they'll get the 1st down on this one and won't come down to that. So 3rd down, less than 1 for Grinnell. 5:35 left to go. They have to wait till the chain gang gets all set and the side officials. The linesman says, go ahead, we're ready. Now we get the ready for play whistle, and here we go. 3rd down and 1. Harsheim in the shotgun. Takes the snap, turns, gives it off to Ringler. Ringler bobbled it, but he gets across and gets out across to the 30. And Tigers do pick up a 1st down. That is, and 30 accuracy to replay first of all. Thank you for that. Clarity Eye Care, our instant replay sponsor. And first downs for Grinnell. Their second one's an Edward Jones. First down. There we go. Mark and Paula Colpin, your registered representatives. So first and 10 Grinnell. Ball down at the 27-yard line. 5 minutes left to go here. Opening quarter. Nevada leads Grinnell 7-0. Harsheim in the shotgun. Turns. Gives the ball off to Caponzu that time. High steps through a player and spinning around. And Caponzu out across the 35 to the 40. I think he's going to have another Edward Jones first down. Let's see. Yes, they move the chains. Another Edward Jones first down. Nice hard run by Benny Caponzu there. Kind of high-stepped one and spun over another one. You see it here on our Clarity Eye Care instant replay. Being spun down there. Tackle made by number 11, Braden Lewis. But again, Caponzu gets the Tigers another first down. So first and 10 Grinnell, ball down at the 40-yard line rather. Harsheim hands it off, this time to Caponzu once again. Over the left side, and Caponzu just picking his spot, hiding behind his lineman, out across the 45 to about the 46. So suddenly, Dan, Tigers made some adjustments or found a hole there, but they're getting the ball running inside between the tackles against these Cubs.
Yep, they're definitely finding that alignment, and sometimes it even comes into places if they start to go a little bit inside or a little bit outside, they're given the judgment of the back to make that decision instead of just totally forcing it. And you see that little bit of hesitation, which that tells me that's what they're doing.
6-yard gain brings up second down and 4 for the Tigers. Ball down at the 45-yard line, their own 45. Harsheim gives to Caponzu again. Nice cutback, but then he's met by a whole wall of white jerseys and hats. Does get maybe a couple out to about the 47, 48. They're going to spot the ball down, so 2 yards short. The first down going to bring up a third down and 2 here. Clock moving, 3:35 left to go here in this first quarter. Nevada leads Grinnell 7-0. As you see on our Kurtz Collision Center scoreboard. Happy to be able to come back to you after about a 6-7 week break between softball, baseball. Now we have our fall sports, Tiger football and volleyball coming your way. Harsheim again gives the ball off. This time Josh Ringler gets met at the 48, but turns and spins and falls forward. Going to be short, going to land about the 49.5-yard line. He has to get to the 50. So we'll see what.
Chris, you and I, we both love sports, but it was nice to have about a 6-week break.
It was. Although my wife was like, don't you have a game to do tonight? She wanted me out of the house. So went out and took our cat for a walk. That's what I did during those times. But so 4th down and 1, first big play of the ball game. Coach Haydenfeld going for it, as you would suspect he would. Play clock down to 7. Tigers going to have to hurry here. Harsheim in the shotgun. Turns off. Ball's off to Ringler. Gets penetration, but Ringler gets to the outside. Breaks a tackle and gets that first down. Boy, number 64 shot in there. That A gap we talked about. J.C. Rangel Bello, Dan. He had a shot at him, but Ringler just powered right through it.
Yeah, and you got to watch it live. We had it on that camera as he powered across there. Be able to push that ball straight across. And, yeah, I'm just really impressed with the line movement. Getting off the line of scrimmage and getting some movement on that defense.
So first down and 10 for Grinnell. Ball down in Cub territory at the 45-yard line.
There's a little scores update Chris will give you as we bring them along here.
Newton is trailing Carlisle 28-14. And Pella's leading 16-0 over Ballard. This time the ball is handed off to Ringler once again, and this time penetration again on that left side. Nevada might be doing some stunning, but they got in the backfield. Ringler spun out of the contact and got back. Maybe, I guess, they're going to give him a yard here, down to about the 45. So, actually, yeah, it's going to be a yard gain, a little less than a yard, so about 2nd down and 9.
We'll give that credit out to our 5th member of the broadcast crew, Blake Walker, which is actually calling Valley game and Dowling, I believe, at Valley Stadium. So keeps us all up to date, different places.
Harsheim back to pass, tucks it down. Now he can run. Harsheim's pretty quick. He's around the left side, scoots out of bounds and knocked out of bounds right about the 30-yard line. That'll be another Edward Jones first down.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty smart move there by Harsheim because it looked like he slid, and he had a big guy coming at him. So why take the hit? Just get down and play it safe.
And nice job by Eddie, too. The play wasn't there. He was trying to go on a quick slant to his receiver over the middle. That was taken away, so he tucked it down, tucked the ball away, and took off. got good yardage.
Let's catch the end of it here on the Clarity Eye Instant Replay. You can see where it's running around there.
Yep. Right around that corner there, Harsheim gets the Tigers a first down. So 1st and 10, ball at the 34. Harsheim hands the ball off. Caponzo this time met in the backfield. And Nevada's made an adjustment, Dan, because now suddenly they're getting penetration. That's number 21, Austin Waldera, getting in the backfield. They're either knifing through the gaps or making some type of little move to get past our linemen.
Yeah, he definitely stepped up and filled the gap. So, and that's the discipline when you're on defense. You can either overpower it and you're going to get lost, or you take your one step and shuck the guy off and you sit and wait. And patience right there is the benefactor on that one.
Loss of 1 on the play brings up 2nd down and 11. The clock is running under a minute, as you see on our Curse Collision Center scoreboard. 2nd down and 11 for Grinnell. 35 seconds or so left to go, and now we have a whistle and timeout taken by Grinnell. That's an Edward Jones timeout. We'll take one as well. We'll take this 30-second timeout and say you're watching high school football on the Tiger Sports Livestream Network.
This is a story about signs. It's also a story about people's experiences. The humble sign. They are everywhere. But signs are more than just a plaque on the wall, an arrow, or letters on a building exterior. Signs help you leave a legacy or start a new chapter in life. All those signs have to start somewhere, and that's where we come in. We're your trusted partner in everything signage and graphics.
Back here at TT Craney Field, 34.3 seconds left to go. Of course, on our Curse Collision Center scoreboard, we don't do the tenths of a second, but it's 34 seconds left. Tigers trying to drive the ball down here, having a good drive going. This is about the unofficial. This is the 9th play of the drive down. Started back at about the 16-yard line. So just with the doctor order, takes kind of the momentum away from Nevada, takes the wind out of their sails, so to speak, and this long sustained drive by Grinnell.
Yeah, and actually to be able to turn that back around. So as you said earlier when we went to the timeout, our timeouts are brought to you by Edward Jones, Mark and Paul Copeland.
All right, so 2nd down, 11 for Grinnell. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right, single back in the backfield. There's Ringler. Now Ringler splits out wide. And we go to 5 receivers, 3 to the right, 2 to the left. Empty backfield. Harsheim back to pass. Looking for the slant. Not there. Throws on the run, gets it out. Finds his receiver, and it's dropped. Jake Van Compernol had it. Pass a little behind him. Coverage out there by number 2, Cole Beving. But that would have been a nice completion. Harsheim with his scrambling ability, we're already seeing that, Dan. His quick feet and ability to dodge traffic buys him that extra time.
Yeah, and it's going to be nice because when you pull out, I think they had 3 or 4 receivers out this side towards us on the visitor side. When you start to stretch that out, you're going to open up some gas because they have to commit and they have to step up and be the protectors there. So I think Eddie's going to have some good look to tuck that ball and run.
So it brings up 3rd down and 11 now for Grinnell. 28.8 seconds left to go here first quarter. Nevada leads Grinnell 7-0 as you see on our Curse Collision Center scoreboard. Single back in the backfield. Harsheim turns, gives the ball off to Ringler, tries the left side. Again, penetration by the Cubs. I didn't see a linebacker shoot the gap, so I'm just somehow their defensive linemen are getting
number
past
45,
our blockers.
John Nelson, he stepped right up through the gap there. I think he's on that defensive end on the far side of the field from us.
So Tigers are going to let this clock run out here in this first quarter, and they'll have a 4th down and 13 when we come back for the second quarter. That's the end of one quarter. 7-0 Nevada with the lead over Grinnell. You're watching high school football. We'll take this 1-minute break. You're watching high school football on the Tiger Sports Livestream Network.
Mayflower Community is currently hiring nursing staff. If you are passionate about healthcare and the well-being of older adults, Mayflower Community wants you. Employees enjoy a daily meal, coffee, cappuccino, and lotus drinks, fitness center, and a family-oriented work culture that is flexible with your needs. You will find competitive pay and benefits. Mayflower Community, a place to call home and a great place to work. For more information, visit our website at mayflowerhomes.com or call 641-236-6151.
Tired of bad internet and bad service? Switch to MCG and experience the benefits of better internet. We employ a local team that answers the phone when you call. We provide same-day support and symmetrical upload and download. We offer benefits like free install, free router, and no introductory pricing. We offer internet that works when you need it. No data caps, no fine print, and absolutely no hidden fees. Sign up with MCG today and experience the benefits of better internet service.
Back here at TT Crandon Field, getting set for the start of our second quarter. Our second quarter brought to us by Brent Nichols, State Farm Insurance, alongside Dan Walker. I'm Chris Juni. Lori Walker on the camera up here in the booth, and Cody Flowers, our on-field camera person, bringing us all the action. And we are about ready to start, but they had to reset the play clock to 25. Now we're set to go. So 4th down and 13 for Grinnell, and they're lining up to try a field goal. All right, Tyler Kostow set to attempt a 53-yard field goal. Snap is down. There's a boot. It's on the way. It's going to be short and a little bit to the right. Good effort by Grinnell, but the field goal comes up short, and the Cubs will take over in pretty decent field position. 1st and 10 at their own. Well, I guess they're moving it back to the 20 after a missed field goal. That's right. It's not like the pros or college. They move it back to the 20. So I was thinking 36-yard line is pretty good, but move it back to the 20. So 1st and 10 Nevada at their own 20-yard line. Drake Hinson, the quarterback for the Cubs. Tigers had the one turnover and interception, which did lead to a Cubs touchdown. Ball carrier that time is Grimm, and he is met and wrapped up by a whole pile of Tigers. Officials blow the play dead. Let's see what they give forward progress.
Actually, take a look at that one, because that was a nice little play there.
Clarity eye carries replay. Yeah, number 30 fought off the block for Grinnell. Keaton Iverson fought off the block of the left tackle and just made the first contact, held up the ball carrier. Will end until his teammates came and made the play.
Nice swarming tackles. So it's always one thing you love as a defensive coordinator is not only do you have that one hit, but you have 4 or 5 that jump up right behind it and just continue the drive.
So our clarity eye carries replay. Loss of 3, 2nd down and 13. Hinson back, throws it out deep, has a man out there, and it is caught. Hinson's pass is caught by Gavin Edgeland, and he will take it all the way for a Cubs touchdown. Wow. An 83-yard touchdown pass. Now we're going to have a flag, I think. It's going to be after the touchdown, but they're going to call probably unsportsmanlike, I think, on Nevada for excessive celebration. But it was after the touchdown was scored, so a touchdown will count. And then Coach Haydenfield will have the option to either take it on the kickoff or on the extra point, I think. But let's see what the call is here first. Dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct against Nevada, okay? Excessive celebration, I guess. That's a judgment call by the officials. So now Coach Haydenfeld has a decision to make, and he says, I'll take it on the kickoff. So Cedar Smith in to attempt the extra point. High snap. Ball is down, kick is up, and it is good. 11:07 left to go in the first half. Nevada leads Grinnell 14-0. We'll take this 30-second break. You're watching high school football on the Tiger Sports Livestream Network.
The Dairy Barn, located at 1810 6th Avenue in Grinnell. Stop by before or after the big ball game to pick up your favorite ice cream or flavor of the day yogurt. They also have a full line of delicious foods, including tenderloins, pulled pork sandwiches, popular chicken wraps, and much, much more. Don't have time to stop at the barn? Catch them on the move at some of the favorite events around Grinnell, or give us a call and try out our catering. And don't forget to check out www.dairybarngrinnell.com to order online or the Chow Now app. Remember, I scream, you scream, we all scream for Dairy.
Back here at TT Crandon Field, 11:07 left to go in the first half. Nevada up on Grinnell 14-0. Tigers with the one turnover. Harsign pass was tipped by receiver, intercepted by the Cubs, and 6 plays later Nevada took it in for a touchdown, and then they struck quickly, lightning on a post route. Drake Hinson throws a pass to Gavin Edgeland. 83-yard touchdown pass. And the Cubs, again, leading 14-0. Still a lot of football left to play, but Nevada made some adjustments. Tigers, that first drive, were getting all kinds of running room, but then we saw Nevada making some adjustments or switching the gaps up or doing something, and again, their defensive linemen who were being blocked the first series now suddenly were getting in the backfield, and that shut down that Tiger running game. There's a kickoff. Ball taken back and received by Grinnell about the 20-yard line. This is Kellen Harder over the right side, and he is still on his feet, spins away out of one tackle and spins around and gets out across the 30 to about the 30, going to call 32-yard line. Tigers will set up shop. 1st and 10 at their own 32. A lot of football left to go. And certainly, Dan, no time to panic here. I mean, one touchdown was caused by a turnover. The other one, they just got a big play, which those happen from time to time. So let's see if the Tigers can settle in here. Had a good drive last time. It stalled at midfield. About a 10-play drive that ended up producing no points. Harsheim takes a snap, gives the ball off to Ringer. Again, that penetration. They're just getting through our line. Nevada has something figured out, and where those holes were open on that first quarter, first drive or so, Dan, Nevada's really shut that down, and they're just getting in the backfield. And that, as you know, disrupts every play you ever want to call.
And that's the big thing is once you can make that adjustment, the next thing that Grinnell has to do is they got to counter it. So once they move into your gap, then you got to switch, and you got to see how you can move and pull things around.
So loss on a play of 4 back to the 29-yard line. So 2nd down and 14 now for Grinnell. 14-0, Nevada with the lead. 10 minutes left to go here in the first half, as you see on our Curse Collision Center scoreboard. Harsheim, this time they bring a blitz. It's picked up. Harsheim steps up, trying to dodge out of traffic, but he is caught by the rush. They had a spy on him that time. Harsheim made the right move. He tried to step up in the pocket, but just nowhere to go. And he is sacked for another loss on the play.
Yeah, that's that Austin Waldera, number 21, and backed up there by John Nelson. Both of them are just coming in pretty strong on that backside brush.
So 3rd down and 18 for Grinnell. Want to be careful here. I mean, you want to try to get the first down, obviously, but you also don't want to get a turnover or something like that. It'll give Nevada great field position. So 3rd down, 18 for Grinnell. 2 receivers right, 1 receiver left. Now receiver comes in motion tight. And we have a whistle, and let's see.
I don't think we had a set.
Delay a game, I think. Possibly? Yep, delay a game against Grinnell. That's thrown by the back judge back there about the 49-yard line, so that's going to set him back 5 more. So it'll now be 3rd down and 23.
Looking right at the clock.
And it's just like any official, like we talk about in basketball. Some officials, the minute it turns 0, they throw the flag and blow the whistle. Some officials wait till it goes 0 and pause a beat before. But either way, it was delay game on Grinnell. Now we have another whistle. Now we're set. So ball back to the 27-yard line. 3rd down and 22. Tigers got to get out to their own 43-yard line. Harsheim just turns, hands the ball off to Ringler up the middle. Ringler tries to cut outside, and he is met by a whole pile of Nevada Cubs and still plows forward. Good hard running. The Ringler finally brought down, picked up about 9, but obviously short of the first down, and that'll bring up a punting situation for Grinnell. So it's like Jake Van Comperno's back to punt for Grinnell. Back deep for Nevada is Clay Franzen, number 6. Now he's joined back there by Braden Lewis, I do believe. Low snap. Ball is up and punted out. Gets it to turn over. Ball is fielded right away. No fair catch, and he is buried. That's Lucas Brown, but he hangs on. But again, the Cubs with great field position take over at their own 46-yard line. Bit of a risky play there. There's no fair catch, but he did secure it. So Cubs up 14-0, get the ball back. 8.5 minutes left to go here in this first half. First of many broadcasts we'll have for you this year. Check out our schedule on our website. Our watermark there in the lower left-hand corner, just add the .com. That's our website, and you can check out our broadcast schedule for football and volleyball. The ball is loose, but bounces right back to Henson. Throws it out there on the run. Receiver's out there, and it is overthrown. A lot of contact by both players there. But the official rules, it was a draw, I guess. A lot of hands and grabbing, but they let that go. So pass is incomplete. Going to bring up 2nd down and 10. That's one of those funny bounces, Dan. That ball, the back on the way by, knocked it out of his hand. It bounced right back up to him. It could have bounced any number of ways.
It was almost a flat ball side, jumped right up there. That's Vosberg and Kapanzu, I believe, on that coverage on that.
So 2nd down and 10 now for Nevada. Hinson back to pass again. Curl route, hits his big tight end. Out across into Tiger territory to the 45, down inside to about the 43-yard line. That is number 45, John Nelson, 6'5", 205-pound tight end receiver for Nevada. Good enough for Nevada Cub first down. Definitely can feel it. Momentum is totally on the Nevada Cubs side. They can just, it's in the air. They're sensing blood and trying to get up another score here on Grinnell. Hand the ball off now, up the middle. That was Jaden Grimm. Grimm plows forward inside the 40 to about the 39-yard line. Tackle by Ringler. Also in there for Grinnell, number 56, Jared Wickwire. Pick up a 4 on the play, brings up 2nd down and 6 for the Cubs. Obviously, Coach Andrew Kleeman in no hurry. Take as much of the play clock as he can with a 2-score lead. 2nd and 6 now for the Cubs. Change the play up. Everybody checks the wristbands. Now the play is in. There's the ball snap. Hands the ball off now to Grimmer on the left side. Has a blocker out in front. He is cut down. Nice play knifing in there. Number 15 for Grinnell. That's Trenton Scheck. Knifed in there, hit him low, and knocked his legs out. Good balance. Grimm almost said we have it on our Clarity Eye Care Instant Replay. You can see it come right at you. Scheck dives in there and cuts the legs out. Limits them to about a 3-yard gain, bring up 3rd down and 3. As we come up under 7 minutes left to go here in the first half, Nevada leading Grinnell 14-0, as you see on our Clarity Eye Care. Or rather, our Curse Collision Center scoreboard. There we go. Hits it on the rollout. Run pass option, flips it up to his big tight end. Pass is caught, and he's going to be tackled out of bounds. And let's see.
It's got to be close, but
not sure
I don't
if they
think
marked
he made it.
Nevada players say he had it, but it depends about the guy in the striped shirt. And they're going to be short by about a yard, maybe a little over. Ball spotted down at the 34-yard line, so Nevada quickly lines up. So 4th down and 1. Obviously a key moment here in the game. Tigers get a stop. They take over and can snatch that momentum back away from the Cubs. 4th and 1. Direct snap to the running back. He gets up to top, and he is stopped. Somebody knifed in there. Wickwire, I think, also in there. We have the Clarity Eye Care Instant Replay. You see on the far side, a Tiger player knifed in there and just cut his legs down low. And he was stopped for no gain. Put an asterisk by that play. Folks, if you're watching at home or listening on KGRN radio, a big, big play. Tigers have time and all 3 timeouts. They can go down the field here, knock a score, and then they are just down by 1 possession. And Grinnell will get the ball to start the second half as well. So 1st and 10, Grinnell. Ball thrown 35. Harsheim, the quarterback. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Harsheim takes the snap, back to pass. Looking, rolls out. He throws out across, and ball is caught for a moment, then dropped by Grinnell. Vosberg had it. Again, the pass just a little bit high.
Those are the little things, we talked about earlier in the ball game is when do you have to be able to catch the ball, see the ball, catch the ball, bring it in, secure it, then turn and run. So, it's always different. It's always the first ball game of the year, and you're going to have those little jitters like that, and you guarantee you'll go back and practice, and you'll start working on that.
So 2nd down and 10 now for Grinnell. 6 minutes left to go in the first half. Harsheim turns, gives the ball off to Ringler. He's met in the backfield. Knifing in there was number 45. That's John Nelson. He's a defensive lineman.
We've been hearing that name quite a bit. Followed up with number 88. He kind of helped seal the deal for him, which I don't have an 88, do I?
So we'll have to see.
88, Cedar Smith.
Yeah, Cedar Smith out there. But again, the first drive, Tigers were getting good chunks of yardage, but Nevada since made an adjustment, and their defensive line is getting there. They just have 3 down linemen, and they're almost like now they bring a couple guys up, so it's 5. Now the pass, blitz is coming. Harsheim is going to be buried. Just not enough time to get the ball off, even out of there.
Big number 64 for Nevada. J.C. Rangel Bello. I don't know, it might be a little bit of butchering on that name there, but
J.C. Rangel Bello gets a sack, so Tigers forced a punt. 4th down and 17. And outside of that first drive, Dan, this has been all Cubs. Ever since that interception turnover, the Cubs have had that momentum. Back to punt for Grinnell. Van Compernol gets a boot out of there. And it's taken about the 41. That is Clay Franzen over around the left side. Franzen bouncing off tackle, still on his feet inside Tiger territory. Then he's finally brought down about the 38-yard line. Good hard return by Franzen. Now we have a flag down.
Other side of the field.
Have to wait and check that.
I think it might be on Nevada because on the field camera I saw a Nevada player with their hands up in the air like.
I didn't touch him. So it's going to be a block in the back against Nevada. That's going to be a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Looks like it occurred about the 49-yard line, so they're going to mark the penalty off from there, 10 yards back. Nevada will keep the ball. Ball moved back to the Nevada Cub 40-yard line. That's a big penalty because it was 1st and 10 Nevada at the Tiger 37. Now it's 1st and 10 Nevada at their own 40.
Yeah, they had a gain of yardage about 4 on that.
About a 23-yard penalty right there, even though it was only 10 yards. So 4:34 left to go here, first half. Nevada leads Grinnell 14-0, as you see on our Kurtz Collision Center scoreboard. Tiger defense asked to called upon one more time to keep the Cubs out of the end zone. Hinson gives the ball off to Grimm over the left side, and this time he's knifed down. Nice play by Kellen Harder. Stepping up, check that was Waldera again, getting the call. Over the right side, out across the 40 to about the 44-yard line. Pickup of 4 brings up 2nd down and 6. Clock moving, coming up on 4 minutes left to go here, first half. Just a beautiful night for football, as Dan said, no wind at all. Temperatures now is about 70 degrees or so. 2nd and 6 for the Cubs. Hinson waits those players get set. 5 on the play clock. Now we're going to get a timeout taken by Nevada. Will take one as well. 3:53 left to go, first half. 14-0 Nevada with the lead. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're watching high school football on the Tiger Sports Livestream Network.
Hey, Tiger fans. I'm Pastor Phil inviting you to try church at Prairie Lakes, where you'll hear that God loves you no matter what. Parents, your kids are going to love learning about God in our safe and fun children's environments. So no matter where you're at with what you believe, you can look for God at Prairie Lakes Church. Go Tigers, and I hope to see you soon.
Back here at TT Cranny Field. When play resumes, 2nd down and 6 for Nevada. Ball thrown 44-yard line. Of course, Iowa Hawkeyes kick off their season tomorrow at 5 o'clock, hosting the Albany Great Danes. Iowa State plays their 2nd game tomorrow afternoon at Jack Trice Stadium.
How was your trip to Dublin?
It was good. In my mind, it went great, Dan. It was a beautiful trip.
Everybody that went got soaking wet.
Hits it back to pass, throws the ball up there. What a catch by his receiver. Wow. Gavin Edgeland jumps up and snatches that ball out of the air. Ball moved into Tiger territory down to the 40-yard line. Great coverage by Grinnell there. Can't fault that. Kellen Harder was right there, but just a great catch by the Nevada Cub player, Gavin Edgeland.
I'm going to show just the tail end of it. It's a little bit pixelated, but that was a grab right there. So nice catch there by Nevada.
And the concentration to hang on to it while being tackled. Now here's a handoff. Nevada over the left side. That is Waldera again. Bounces off the first contact, but then Tigers come in and tackle him. Brooks Vosberg, among others, in there for Grinnell. Ball pushed inside the 40 down to about the 37-yard line. Pickup of 4, going to bring up 2nd down and 6. Clock moving, 3 minutes, 10 seconds left to go here till halftime. 2 receivers to the right, 1 left. Hinson in the shotgun, takes the snap. Hand off to Waldera again. This time he's met at the line, but plows forward. Good leg surge, good strength. Gets inside the 35 down to about the 34-yard line. Pickup of maybe 2, so going to bring up 3rd down, and we'll call it 4, maybe 3.5, 4. for Nevada, as Coach Kleeman is in no hurry with a 2-score lead. Again, Grinnell does get the ball, so very important series here, Dan. The Tigers can figure out a way to keep the Cubs out of the end zone or even get a field goal here. Keep this at a 2-possession game. 3rd and 3. Hinson hands the ball off to Oldera. He takes the ball. Good hard run. Runs over a target. That time it was Jaden Grimm, actually. Met right the first down, but plowed over a Grinnell player. Gets down inside the 25.
I tell you what, that's an impressive runner right there.
That was a run right there. You could hear that smack up here. I could hear it through my headset. So ball down to the 24-yard line. 1st and 10, Nevada at the Tiger 24-yard line. 2 minutes left to go here, first half. Hinson back to pass. Throwing out deep, has a guy in the corner. Ball up and off the hands of his attentive receiver.
There could have been some questionable of interference on the offensive side on that, but
yeah,
no
John
fear,
Nelson.
no go there. So
yep. Well, I've noticed that too. It's kind of bled down to the high school lengths, but even the pros and college, they let a lot of hand jostling go anymore now. And again, it puts a lot of onus on the official to make what they call a judgment call. In the official's judgment, somebody gains an unfair advantage as a penalty, but Nelson couldn't bring it in, so it's 2nd down and 10. Now we have a whistle, and let's see.
Grinnell player in the neutral zone, which we talked about that earlier. Someone asked, how come that doesn't get called all the time? If they jump off sides and they can return to their position back out of the neutral zone before the snap is, then it's not an offsides. But when you break the plane of it, and then that is offsides.
Yep, and if you make contact with an offensive lineman or cause them to jump, that's also on the defense. So brings up 2nd down and 5 now for Nevada. Hinson hands the ball off to his tailback, Jaden Grimm. Grimm plows forward, just keeps the legs churning down inside the 15, maybe down to about the 14 or 14 and a half.
Like Grinnell, Kinnick Van Wyk in there, maybe, or number 56, sorry. Jared Wickwire on the tackle.
So ball spotted down about the 14, going to bring up 3rd down and 1. Obviously 2-down territory for the Cubs here. Tigers did make one stop on 4th down. Let's see if they can get another one here. Hand off to Grimm. He hits the hole and spins around and gets inside the 12. Going to be good enough for another Cub first down. So it's not going to be 1st and goal, but it'll be 1st down and 10 at the Tiger 12-yard line. Clock stop while they set the change, and the referee will start it once the change are set.
Josh Ringler did a good job stepping up through that gap. In other words, I think it could have been a little bit more of a pickup there.
So 1st and 10 of the 12. Hinson's pass deep in the corner of the end zone, trying to hit his receiver, and he catches it, but he's out of bounds. Again, that's a big old target he's thrown to. John Nelson, 6'5", 205 pounds. That's just a go route. That's a pretty easy play. Take the snap, count to 2, throw it up, let your big guy go make a play. Good coverage back there by the Tigers, up there making it difficult. That was Kellen Harder back there, giving up a few inches to Mr. Nelson. Incomplete pass brings up 2nd down and 10. Hinson in the shotgun, back to pass again. This time rolling out, throws a pass across the middle. It's caught.
Oh, so dangerous.
By his tailback. Dangerous play. Looks like a Tiger had a shot at it. Making the catch that time is number 88 for Nevada, Cedar Smith.
I'm going to throw an instant replay at that. I don't know if we could catch it here, but that was like in danger zone.
A lot of Tigers around, but the pass was true, and he made the catch. Less than a minute left to go here. 30 seconds in counting. Cubs in no hurry here. 3rd down and 3, and they're going to take a timeout. We'll take one as well. 31 seconds left to go first half. Nevada leads 14-0. Back in 30 seconds, you're watching high school football on the Tiger Sports Livestream Network.
Hey Tiger fans, Colton here at Wagon Wheels West in Grinnell, and today's game day boot is this men's Twisted X boot. This boot is going to be super comfortable with that self-stretch technology while also being greatly durable if you have to go and work in the yard or you're out on the job all day. This is going to be the boot for you. But don't get it twisted. This boot is going to look wonderful under a nice pair of blue jeans if you got to go out on the town. And stop in, try it, and good luck, Tigers.
Back here to TT Craney Field. 31 seconds left to go here first half. Nevada leads Grinnell 14-0, and Cubs are threatening. 3rd down and 3. Ball spotted down the 5-yard line. So the Cubs can get a first down without scoring. And I imagine if they don't make it here, would probably go for it, I would imagine. But we'll see.
Well, they definitely had the ability to push the ball from the rushing standpoint, and it's been impressive. Let them catch that ball out there like that too.
Hits it, hands the ball off. Tailback takes it. He's met at the 5. He's going to have a first down, and the ball's loose. No, not loose. Check that. He kept his legs churning, and he gets tackled down right about the 2-yard line. So timeout taken. Well, they've stopped the clock while they move the chains. 19 seconds left to go here.
Well, any head coach or assistant coach, that is one thing that you want to see all the time, is not giving up and driving the legs, and that's exactly what he did.
So 1st and goal from the 2. Hinson fakes the pass, throws it to his big tight end, Nelson. Fakes a handoff, hits Nelson for a Cub touchdown.
I tell you what, Nelson's making a presence on both sides of the ball. Not only is he putting his hands up and using that big frame to give a huge target, but both, offense and defense, I like what he's putting out there.
We did say Nevada, they got to the quarterfinals of the playoffs last year after posting an 8-3 record. And so far, except for that first drive, ever since then, it's been all Cubs in this ballgame. Tigers just have to regroup at halftime. There's a kick up. You see from our camera on the field. It is good. 21-0, Nevada with the lead. You're watching back in 30 seconds. You're watching high school football on the Tiger Sports live stream network.
Hi there, this is Joey Pollei, third generation owner of Polley's in Grinnell. Since 1957, we've been serving the flavors you savored. We only use the freshest ingredients for our salads, sandwiches, pasta, and pizza, guaranteed. Plus, don't forget about our award-winning Liquid Gold Ranch and Champagne Cake. Also, keep an eye out on our social media where we release limited time pizza specials like a pickle wrap, sweet corn, and buffalo chicken pizzas, just to name a few. See you soon at Polley's in downtown Grinnell.
Back here at TT Craney Field, 9 seconds left to go here in the first half. And Tigers are going to have to go in and just completely regroup because the Cubs got the Tiger running game figured out. Again, that first drive, Tigers were eating a big chunk of yards, had a big drive. They ended up stalling, but they covered a lot of ground, took a lot of time off. But ever since then, the Nevada defensive line has made some adjustments. And they are getting penetration in our backfield and basically shutting down our running game, making the Tigers one-dimensional. So here comes the kickoff. Kickoff taken back all the way back at the goal line by the Tigers. Coming out with it is Kellen Harder. Harder over the right side, gets out across the 20 where he's bumped out of bounds. 3 seconds left to go here in the first half. I'm going to guess that Coach Haydenfield might just take a knee on this one. And again, Tigers will get the ball to start the second half. So I'm sure lots to talk about for the Tiger coaches at halftime to sort out what those Cubs are doing. And Tigers do send receivers out of the formation here. It looks like Harsheim is up under center. I think he's just going to probably take a knee. And he does, and that will do it. 21-0 is your score. Nevada leads Grinnell at half. We'll take this break, a long break. Come back in 4 minutes. We'll come back in 4 minutes as we tell you you're watching high school football on the Tiger Sports live stream network.
When change and uncertainty define the times, it's good to anchor to your roots, to honor and nurture them, to remember how it all started, and let that help build the future. Because we know a strong future is built on a solid past, and that past promises mean future follow-through. You can trust us to protect what you grow, build, own, and value. Trust in tomorrow with Grinnell Mutual.
Drywall is your local drywall professional, serving a 70-mile perimeter around Iowa City. They provide services to commercial builders, general contractors, and residential homeowners. Projects can include commercial build-outs, new construction for multi-family and residential homes, to remodeling projects such as your new addition to basement drywall projects, even down to the simplest 2x2 patch in your wall. Weldon Drywall is here for you. Check out our website at weldon-drywall.com and fill out our contact form for your free estimate today.
At Ramsey Weeks, it's the synergy of insurance and real estate that makes our local office vibrant. At Ramsey Weeks, our success depends on yours in buying or selling property, in insuring your car, home, farm, or business. In your time of need, our success depends on yours. Ramsey Weeks Insurance and Ramsey Weeks Real Estate, 715 Fifth Avenue, Grinnell.
This is a story about signs. It's also a story about people's experiences. The humble sign. They are everywhere. But signs are more than just a plaque on the wall, an arrow, or letters on a building exterior. Signs help you leave a legacy or start a new chapter in life. All those signs have to start somewhere, and that's where we come in. We're your trusted partner in everything signage and we'll be your trusted partner throughout. Because signs do more than point the way. They help the world make sense.
We're helping build your dreams at the ProLine Building Company. Quality that you can trust in every building we construct. ProLine is the place to know. We're committed to helping your dreams grow. We're helping build your dreams at the ProLine Building Company.
Up to the high school through fundraising, membership drives, concession stand revenues at all the home events. There are many different ways you can get involved. One, through membership levels from a single, a family, even into the business. There are many attractive levels that you can be a part of this wonderful club. Your membership funds help support uniforms, warm-ups, summer speed camps, baseball and softball batting cages, and the list goes on. You want to be a part of a great group? Join the Grinnell Booster Club today.
Hey, Tiger fans, I'm Pastor Phil inviting you to try church at Prairie Lakes, where you'll hear that God loves you no matter what. Parents, your kids are going to love learning about God in our safe and fun children's environments, so no matter where you're at with what you believe, you can look for God at Prairie Lakes Church. Go Tigers, and I hope to see you soon.
Hi there, this is Joey Pollyi, third generation owner of Pollyi's in Grinnell. Since 1957, we've been serving the flavors you savor. We only use the freshest ingredients for our salads, sandwiches, pasta, and pizza, guaranteed. Plus, don't forget about our award-winning Liquid Gold Ranch and Champagne Cake. Also, keep an eye out on our social media where we release limited time pizza specials like a pickle wrap, sweet corn, and buffalo chicken pizzas, just to name a few. See you soon at Pollyi's in downtown Grinnell.
When change and uncertainty define the times, it's good to anchor to your roots, to honor and nurture them, to remember how it all started, and let that help build the future. Because we know a strong future is built on a solid past, and that past promises mean future follow-through. You can trust us to protect what you grow, build, own, and value. Trust in tomorrow with Grinnell Mutual.
Welcome back to the Tiger Sports Live Stream Network. It's halftime here, and I know that the question's always brought up that how come we could see that band playing in the background, but we never get to hear them. Well, just like anything else, there's always copyright issues that we have to be worried about, and it took me a few years just so I could get to play the national anthem. So just be patient with us. There's probably a few more things that we could get done going down the road going forward, but hey, I just want to give a shout out to all of our sponsors while we have this moment here. So Paulie Ice Pizza, Grinnell Mutual, Ramsey Weeks Insurance, Ramsey Weeks Real Estate, Proline Building Company, Weldon Drywall, Latitude Signage and Design, Mayflower Community, MCG, so Mahaska Communications, The Dairy Barn, Prairie Lakes Church, Wagon Wheels West, S&S Electric, Unity Point, Grinnell Hospital, Family Dentistry, the Grinnell State Bank, and our Booster Club. And get some extra sponsors up there in the top right-hand corner flashing there. So Grinnell Firestone, Mindy Hulls, Exit Realty, Corey Hall Photography, and as we mentioned earlier, we simulcast this on KGRN. So it's always good to have back sponsors like that for our own booster's sake. So we always want to say thank you to all of them. Also, let's give a shout out here to Grinnell Firestone. They have a special going on this month for the Ag Appreciation, so there's instant savings. So farmers out there, take a picture on your screen and head into Grinnell Firestone. Ask them if you could have that special, and it'd be a good deal for you. Also, our game day football is brought to you by Quick Visit Urgent Care, so thank you very much for that. And last one we're going to throw up here is the Strand Theater. We have a partnership with the Strand Theater, so every Thursday night we actually throw out the movies of the week across all of our social media networks. So playing this week is Caught Stealing, Jaws 50th Anniversary, Weapons, and Freaky or Friday. So check out those, grab your date, get a pizza at Paulie Ice Pizza, and head over to the Strand Theater and have a great evening and checking out our movies. So thank you again for joining us. I am Dan Walker. Chris Juni stepped out just for a minute, but we'll be hanging out with you. We're going to go back to our commercials, so we'll be back in 1 minute. So 1 minute, and we'll be right back.
Mayflower Community is currently hiring nursing staff. If you are passionate about healthcare and the well-being of older adults, Mayflower Community wants you. Employees enjoy a daily meal, coffee, cappuccino, and lotus drinks, fitness center, and a family-oriented work culture that is flexible with your needs. You will find competitive pay and benefits. Mayflower Community, a place to call home and a great place to work. For more information, visit our website at mayflowerhomes.com or call 641-236-6151.
Tired of bad internet and bad service? Switch to MCG and experience the benefits of better internet. We employ a local team that answers the phone when you call. We provide same-day support and symmetrical upload and download. We offer benefits like free install, free router, and no introductory pricing. We offer internet that works when you need it. No data caps, no fine print, and absolutely no hidden fees. Sign up with MCG today and experience the benefits of better internet service.
Welcome back to the Tiger Sports Live Stream Network halftime show. We're waiting on a few stats to come up from downstairs. So right now we can just give you an update. The score is 21-0. Give you a little apology on our scoreboard. Once everything kind of gets settled back in, the scoreboard will push back to normal, and we'll be able to have the score up there on the board. So it's just one of those things of working with the evening and how it kind of shakes up and down, but it is a beautiful night here at TT Craney Field. As Chris mentioned earlier, we have a pretty exciting week going on. We have volleyball Thursday night, so Chris and I will be covering that. And then as we pick up next week, Chris will be on the road as they travel to Bondurant, I believe, is next on our schedule. And then from there, you could go ahead and check out our website, and it has all of our schedules, everything in place. So yes, we go to, on the September 5th, go to Bondurant for volleyball. On the 4th, Center Point Urbana comes to town, and then our next swim meet will be on September 11th. So all that stuff is listed on our website. And for those who maybe had a hard time finding the ball game, again, you can go right to our website and you can find all the embedded games on there. You can click down the corner, it'll go to a bigger screen, or you can search out on your smart TV and find it that way also. So a couple other things that we're involved with, and what kind of want to give a shout out. So our podcast that we done back in 2021, so it's been a while ago. We've brought that back into place, and what we're going to do is capture post-game interviews, and we'll be throwing that on the weekly podcast. Plus, we'll do a recap of all the scores for the week and some of the local people in our district. So just an update of what's going on. We may bring in a special guest here and there, but that's what's going on with our podcast. And, we have become partnership with the Grinnell Newburgh School Foundation, and we host a We Belong Here podcast. So every week we have a new teacher that's coming into the school district for the month of August, and we paired them with maybe another new teacher but's been teaching for 4 or 5 years. So it's kind of interesting to hear what their different thought processes are of walking into a room that may be stretched out and clean and nothing in it versus one that's had a little tenure and they bring a bunch of stuff with them. So if you have a moment, go ahead and check that out. And all that stuff is on our website. You can just scroll to the bottom. At the very top, there's actually a spot where you could click on our podcast or click on the We Belong Here logo, and it'll take you right to it. And last thing I want to talk about is our Citrus radio station. So for those who may not want to listen to this and may not have access to KGRN if you're not here local, of course, your preference would be radio station. Hit 1410 KGRN on the local dial, or you could hit our radio station on the internet. So if you advance into our website, you can click on that. We also have an app that you could download and listen to free also there. When you download our app, you can actually click down in the corner. It'll take you to the website, and you can see all the embedded links for all the ball games. So we've got about 3 minutes left here before we hit the end of the half. What we're going to do is we're going to catch a few more words from our sponsors, and we'll be right back in 2 minutes. So we'll take a 2-minute break here on the Tiger Sports Live Stream Network.
The Dairy Barn, located at 1810 6th Avenue in Grinnell, stop by before or after the big ball game to pick up your favorite ice cream or flavor of the day yogurt. They also have a full line of delicious foods, including tenderloins, pulled pork sandwiches, popular chicken wraps, and much, much more. Don't have time to stop at the barn? Catch them on the move at some of the favorite events around Grinnell, or give us a call and try out our catering. And don't forget to check out www.dairybarngrinnell.com to order online or the Chow Now app. Remember, I scream, you scream, we all scream for Dairy.
Hey, Tiger fans, I'm Pastor Phil inviting you to try church at Prairie Lakes, where you'll hear that God loves you no matter what. Parents, your kids are going to love learning about God in our safe and fun children's environments, so no matter where you're at with what you believe, you can look for God at Prairie Lakes Church. Go Tigers, and I hope to see you soon.
Hey Tiger fans, Colton here at Wagon Wheels West in Grinnell, and today's game day boot is this men's Twisted X boot. This boot is going to be super comfortable with that self-stretch technology while also being greatly durable if you have to go and work in the yard or you're out on the job all day. This is going to be the boot for you. But don't get it twisted. This boot is going to look wonderful under a nice pair of blue jeans if you got to go out on the town. And stop in, try it, and good luck, Tigers.
Hi there, this is Joey Pollyi, third generation owner of Pollyi's in Grinnell. Since 1957, we've been serving the flavors you savor. We only use the freshest ingredients for our salads, sandwiches, pasta, and pizza, guaranteed. Plus, don't forget about our award-winning Liquid Gold Ranch and Champagne Cake. Also, keep an eye out on our social media where we release limited time pizza specials like a pickle wrap, sweet corn, and buffalo chicken pizzas, just to name a few. See you soon at Pollyi's in downtown Grinnell.
Welcome back to the Tiger Sports Live Stream Network. End of the half here. We're basically rolling out with about 38 seconds left. Like I said, we'll try to get this scoreboard here going again. Tough first half for the Grinnell Tigers. 21-0 is what the Nevada Cubs put on the scoreboard up there. See if I can't get this scoreboard to bleed over and give us a little bit more input here. Chris Jr. will be working his way back up here as he's coming around the corner. Be sitting down. Welcome back, Chris.
All right, there we are. Long walk to the restroom. Well, Dan, I guess good news is Tigers do get the ball to start out. And obviously they've talked about adjustments in the locker room at halftime. But at this point, as a coach, you're telling your guys, hey, just calm down. Let's not focus on the score so much. Let's take a look and see what we can do. Just play Tiger football, execute, run our plays. Everybody doing their position, doing their job, as they say. I would imagine something like that probably came at the Tiger locker room halftime, because I'm out of breath. Yes, I am.
I believe so. And take another look. But I'll let you take it over while I get this camera going.
That sounds good.
Get the scoreboard fixed here.
So our third quarter, getting ready to start that. Tigers again will get the ball. Our third quarter brought to us by Brett Nichols State Farm Insurance alongside Dan Walker. I'm Chris Juni. Lori Walker up here in the press box with us with our wide camera. And Cody Flowers, our on-field camera person. As you said, first broadcast of the 25-26 Tiger Sports season. Again, that watermark in the lower left-hand corner. Our website is that+.com. Check out our broadcast schedule. We're doing volleyball, and as Dan said, we have 4 swim meets this year as well. So Nevada kicking off. Back deep is Harder for Grinnell. Out across the 15, lowers his shoulder, and he is dropped down solidly by number 22, Jaden Grimm. I think he's going to be spotted just about that 20-yard line. So Tigers will set up shop then. Looks like 1st and 10. Yep, about the 20-yard line or so. And again, I've been in these positions as a basketball coach. I don't coach football, but basketball, you just get pretty much dominated by the team in the first half. So you come out, you want to run your game plan, want to execute, tell, hey, keep doing your job, stay disciplined, and let's see what happens. Direct snap now to Ringler. That time, a little wrinkle. He gets the ball up the middle and maybe plows forward across the 20 to about the 22-yard line. So Smith on the tackle there. Pickup of 2 brings up 2nd down and 8 now for Grinnell. Again, we appreciate your patience with our Kurtz Collision Center scoreboard. Trying to get that thing readjusted. So 2nd down and 8 now. 11:20 left to go here in the third quarter. Grinnell trails Nevada 21-0. There's a handoff up the middle, and this time Ringler bounces off a couple tackles, finds a hole on the left side, gets out across the 30 to about the 31. They're going to be very close. No, they're going to spot him just short. So about the 30.5 line, or 30-yard line and a half. So 3rd down and less than 1 for Grinnell. Keep an eye on this drive. I mean, I know every drive is important, but this is a big drive for Grinnell. If they can come down, get the ball, march downfield, chew up some clock, and get a score, that will do wonders for the momentum and spirit of this football team. So 3rd and 1, handoff up the middle. Ringler's met in the backfield, and I don't think he got it. Again, that penetration might have made it. They're just crashing their ends big time. And Tigers are stopped short, so the Cub defense gets a stop, no gain. 4th and 1, Tiger punting unit comes on. Number 6 and 29 back for Grinnell. That's Clay Franzen and also Lucas Brown back deep. Van Compernol set to punt. Van Compernol handles the snap. Ball is booted out of there. Bounces about the 45 and curves straight out of bounds. Cubs will take over 1st and 10 about their own 45-yard line. 9:59 left to go here in this third quarter. 21-0. Nevada with the lead and looking to add more. Tigers they almost had a 1st down. got close, but then got stopped on a 3rd and short. And now the Cubs take over. Drake Hinson already has an 83-yard touchdown pass back in the first half. Hinson back to pass again. Throwing out deep, has the guy downfield, passes up and over his head. The Nevada fans want a little bit of interference. There was some bumping again. Lucas Brown, the intended receiver. Back deep was Kapanzu for Grinnell. Also number 17 for Grinnell, Brooks Vosberg. Incomplete pass brings up 2nd down and 10. First game of the season, real game of the season. Both teams had a scrimmage, as Dan mentioned in our pregame. So 2nd down and 10. Hanson's pass is tipped and almost caught. Let's see, it's tipped though, so it's not a live ball. Nice job by the receiver, Gavin Edgeland. He was going to catch it, but then he thought about it and just let it drop. Don't know if a coach on that sideline yelled at him to let it go, but it's an incomplete pass. And that'll bring up 3rd down and 10. Big play in this ball game right here. Because if Tigers can hold them and Coach Kleeman doesn't go for it on 4th down, they can force a punt. They can have another shot at going down and getting a score. So 3rd and 10. Hinson back to pass, throws in this flat ball. Is a lot of contact and broken up nicely. Number 2, Kellen Harder. In there on their big 6'5" receiver, John Nelson. Just went down and turned inside, tried to box him off like he's getting a rebound in basketball. And he just shielded him off, but Harder snuck through there, knocked the ball loose. Pass is incomplete. And the Cubs look like they are lining up to punt. Now, Drake Hinson, the quarterback, is the up back. Got to be careful here. There's a snap back. Ball punt out, shanked. Tigers have to get away with it, or get away from it, rather. Takes a bit of a Nevada bounce. Hits at the 35, rolls back to about the 34. So Tiger defense does a job, gets a 3 and out. The Tigers get the ball back for their 2nd possession. Again, 9:32 left to go. There's our scoreboard back up. Great work by Mr. Walker. Getting things. If it just gets bumped or moved a little bit, it kind of loses its focus on the scoreboard, and then we have to go in and reset the whole thing. So appreciate your patience, but our scoreboard is back. And Tigers take over for their 2nd possession of this 2nd half. Get Harsheim. It's the quarterback now. He has Kapanzu and Ringler in the backfield. Looks like it's going to be a direct snap. Ringler's a quarterback, actually. And he hands the ball off to Kapanzu on the right side. Kapanzu, great speed. Gets to the outside, kind of turns the corner. He's wrapped up out across the 40 to about the 44-yard line. Looked like Josh Ringler was in a quarterback there. Had a run-pass option. He kind of held the ball in Kapanzu's hand and read the defensive end and then gave the ball to Kapanzu, who tore around the left end, picked up a quick 8 yards. So 2nd down and 2 now for Grinnell. Clock moving. 9:24 left to go here. They're not moving. Check that. It's stopped running out of bounds. 9:24 left to go, 3rd quarter. Now Harsheim's back at quarterback. 4 receivers out. 2 right, 2 left. Harsheim looking. Snaps the pass out. Ball is tipped and caught. Again, a bit high. Trying to hit Ringler out there. Pass broken up by number, I think, 29, Lucas Brown. The Beta player's kind of bending over, trying to get, looks like trying to hold off a cramp from coming. So 3rd down and 2 now for Grinnell. With 9:20 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. You don't want to say this is a must pick up 1st down, but it's pretty close. Tigers have got to get something going on offense. There's a snap. It's low. Bobble for a moment, and he squirts through, and let's see. He's met and driven back. I think he's going to be short. Snap was a little low, is bobbled. And going to be 4th and about 1, and Coach Haydenfeld brings the punt team back out. Van Compernol back to punt. Going back for Nevada is number 6, Clay Franzen. Again, a low snap. Van Compernol gets the ball, kicks it out of there towards the far sideline. It bounces, rolls out of bounds. about the 31-yard line. So the teams trade possessions here. Tigers just had their second one, the second 3 and out. And with 8:41 left to go here in the third quarter, 21-0. Nevada with the lead. We'll just keep it right here. As I believe we have our scoreboard back, thanks to diligent work by Mr. Dan Walker.
The stress that goes along with it. I'll be switching that camera out.
So 1st and 10 now for the Cubs. Hinson, the quarterback. In the shotgun, turns, gives the ball off to Gavin over his right side, and now he's hit, drives forward out to across the 30 to about the 34. Then he's finally stopped down. Again, nice hard running by, check that, Jaden Grimm on the carry. Wickwire, among others, in there for the stop for Grinnell. Pickup of, we'll call it 3, going to be 2nd down and 7 now for the Cubs. Again, in no hurry. Going to take that play clock all the way down before they snap it. Hinson gets a snap, fakes the give, rolling out, looking to throw, throws it out on the run, has his target out there. Pass complete to Lucas Brown. Out across the 45, knocked out of bounds by Caponzu, about the 46-yard line. Good enough for a Nevada Cub first down. So 1st and 10 Nevada at their own 46. Clock stop because he was bumped out of bounds. We'll start on the snap of the ball. So 1st and 10 Cubs. Hinson back to pass again. Looking. Now throws out in the flat. Ball is caught out there. Dropped immediately by Grinnell. Out there in coverage, number 4, Camden Harms. Receiver on the play catching that ball was number 1. That's Gavin Edgeland. Ball's into Tiger territory down about the 47-yard line. So pickup of 7. Going to bring up 2nd down and 3 for Nevada. Now the handoff to Grimm up the middle. Grimm steps around, tackles, cuts down inside the 45, down about the 44-yard line. Going to be right at the first down mark. And are they moving the chains? Yes, they are. Moving the chains. Another Nevada Cub first down. 1st and 10. Nevada at the Tiger 44-yard line. This is where that size of the Cubs, we've talked about that in our pregame. Nevada has a lot of big young men out there, size-wise. And at this point, it starts to kind of wear on a defense. Now Waldera around the left side. Again, picking a spot, cutting inside the 40 down to about the 40, or check that, the 38-yard line. Pickup of about 6 on the play, 2nd down and 4. Ball spotted out the 37-yard line. 6:40 and counting left to go here, third quarter. Nevada leads Grinnell 21-0. We have 2-0 up on the score. We'll get that fixed here momentarily. That time, good penetration by the Tigers. Grimm was the ball carrier. He's wrapped up. And we have a player down. I can't see who, if it's the Nevada or Grinnell player. Looks like it might be a Nevada Cub player down. The trainer for the Nevada Cubs runs out on the field. He got kind of spun around on the tackle, and that's always dangerous. Unless it looks like it might just be a cramp the way some of the players are grabbing his leg. So we have the stoppage of play. And we'll see, hopefully the young man, it is just a cramp. And if you've ever had a cramp, they're generally not serious, but they are painful, and they can stop you in your tracks for at least a moment. So we got this break. We'll tell you that next week the Tigers are at Bondurant Farrar, Blue Jay Stadium down there. We'll have that game for you, radio style, right on the Tiger Sports Livestream Network. But before that, Thursday night, our volleyball, first match of the volleyball and first game, first premiere, Tiger Sports premiere of new head coach Sharia Sharp, whose husband Brandon is an assistant coach for the football team. That volleyball match will be on Thursday next week, right here on the Tiger Sports Livestream Network. Again, look at the watermark in the lower left-hand corner of your screen. Add the .com. That's where you can go to see our schedules a broadcast schedule and links to all the games. So 3rd down and 4 here for Nevada. Ball spotted down at about the 36-yard line. Ball's loose, and Hinson just has to fall on it. So ball just got away from Hinson there just a little bit. Looked like he may be trying to back up too soon. So it's going to be a 4th down and 8, and Nevada, I think they're going to go in punt formation here. Oh, the Clarity Eye Care Instant Replay, you see that right there. Cody Flowers, our on-field camera person. The ball just looks like he backed up and the snap was low and just couldn't quite handle it. So loss on the play back to the 43. Brings up 4th and 9. Second punt of the second half here for Nevada. Nice punt that time. Ball taken by Grinnell about the 10. Now he goes around the right side and tries to cut inside, but is wrapped up and spun down by Nevada player number 67. Made that tackle. That's Wesley Wilson. I believe that was Harder on the return. Here comes it on Clarity Eye Care Instant Replay. And he is spun down. That's number 17 for Grinnell, Brooks Vosberg on that return. So Tiger football, they take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. Also to note here too, Nevada has won the battle of field position pretty much ever since that about the Tigers' 3rd or 4th drive of that first half. The Tigers just have not had good starting field position. So Harsheim in at quarterback. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Harsheim back to pass. Throws a bubble screen. Complete to Van Compernol. He tries a knife inside and lowers his shoulder. Pushes out to maybe the 20-yard line. Tackled by a whole host of players. Cole Beving, among others, in there for Nevada. Also number 6, Clay Franzen, in there as well. Did pick up 3, so 2nd down and 7 for the Grinnell Tigers. Coming up on 5 minutes left to go here. 3rd quarter, Nevada leading Grinnell 21-0, as you see on our Kurtz Collision Center scoreboard. See what Coach Adam Haydenfeld dials up here. 2nd and 7. Harsheim, the quarterback, blitz up the middle, fakes the pass, and about is thrown off the hand, tipped off the hands of the receiver, intercepted by Clay Franzen, and he might go all the way. Franzen is tackled down out of bounds inside the 10 to about the 7-yard line. Again, a pass just tipped off the hands, and we saw that in the first half. Pass was tipped off of Tiger hands, interception, and took it down inside the 10. Same thing here, deja vu again.
Nice run. You know, he turned that corner and had full steam at it, and you know, got down to just right inside the 7-8 yard line. So
this is definitely going to test the mental toughness of the Tigers, because it has not gone their way since about halfway through the first half. And now Nevada with a golden opportunity here once again. 1st and goal at the 7-yard line. Hinson in at quarterback. Waldera his back. Hinson takes a snap, looking, throws it up in the corner, trying to hit his big tight end, overthrows everybody. Just threw that away. Incomplete pass brings up 2nd down and goal from the 7-yard line. On this Labor Day weekend here, long weekend for everybody. Hope you have a chance to go out and enjoy it. The weather's supposed to be absolutely gorgeous. Whether you're going to a football game or going camping.
Sunday might even be a little on the cool side. It's a chance of sprinkles, but that's okay.
We'll take it to enjoy this weather. And then next week, too, for the most of the week, it's supposed to be somewhat cool. Then kind of warming up towards the end of the week. So 2nd down and goal from the 7. Hits in the quarterback, turns, gives the ball to his tailback right up the middle. He just comes right down in. Jaden Grimm goes in for the 7-yard touchdown. And it is all Nevada Cubs right now as they lead Grinnell 27-0. Here's a Clarity Eye Care Instant Replay. Dan, not much you can do. They just had good blocking at the point of attack, a little bit of a trap, which a trap means a lineman comes down and hits the defensive tackle on the nose, and that cleared the way. Our backers were taken care of, just hat on hat, and walked in for the touchdown.
And you know, some people may say, well, why'd you do an instant replay for a Nevada play? But I have to give a hats off to the guy who's sponsoring our instant replay, because he grew up and he's an alumni in Nevada, Scott Collins. So shout out to Scott. I'm sure you're listening. When the Cubs come into town, you like to go both sides of the story. But thank you to Clarity Eye Care for sponsoring that instant replay.
Extra point is good. 28-0 Nevada with the lead back in 30 seconds. You're watching high school football on the Tiger Sports live stream network.
When change and uncertainty define the times, it's good to anchor to your roots, to honor and nurture them, to remember how it all started, and let that help build the future. Because we know a strong future is built on a solid past, and that past promises mean future follow-through. You can trust us to protect what you grow, build, own, and value. Trust in tomorrow with Grinnell Mutual.
Back here to TT Crane Field, 4 minutes and 30 seconds left to go here in the third quarter. Nevada with the shutout so far of Grinnell, leading the Tigers 28-0. Christian Dan Walker, Lori Walker up here in the booth on the camera. Cody Flowers, our on-field camera person. Glad to have you with us here on this Friday night. Absolutely beautiful night for not only football, but any activity you want to do. Again, the flags across the way. You can see there at the top of the stadium and by the Tiger on the Tiger side, fluttering just a little bit, but basically been no breeze for most of the game. Temperature now holding at a beautiful 70 degrees. Trying to get an update for you, too, on some scores. I know Bondurant Ferrara is playing. That's a Tiger opponent next week. Try to get a score for them. There's a kickoff bobble by the Tigers and picked up at the goal line, and Tigers bring it out. Around the right side, gets out across the 15, and then knocked out of bounds. Maybe gets up to the 16-yard line. And Tigers will have the football. Now we have whistles all over the place. What do we got going on over there? Little pleasantries going on over there, maybe a bit. Do I see a flag on the field? I don't think so. Let's see. Yeah, the officials are talking here. Oh, they're going to wave it off. So there was a flag on the field, but they wave it off. All right. I think Nevada was just asking if Pollyeyes Pizza is going to be open after this so they can stop as a team and maybe get a couple of pies from Joey and crew. So first down and 10 for Grinnell. Ball at their own 16-yard line. And at this point, if you're the Tiger players and staff and fans, you're just hoping we can string something together to get a score on the board. So Harsimon at quarterback. Turns his ball off to Ringler up the middle. And once again, just that penetration. Defensive lineman was in there. Almost took the hand off. And now we have a whistle. There's a, looks like, is that a Nevada player down? Yeah, it's a Nevada player down. Number 34 for Nevada. That is, well, no, check that. It says number 64. That's J.C. Rangel-Bello, senior guard, 6 foot, 250 pounds. Again, just got a cramp. So as you said, this is an initial broadcast, our inaugural broadcast of our 25-26 sports season here in the Tiger Sports Livestream Network. Next week, we have 2 things for you. Volleyball. And we have the broadcast premiere of head coach Ray Sharp. They have a volleyball tournament tomorrow morning to the Tiger volleyball girls out of Grinnell High School, so check that out. They've had some scrimmages and lots of excitement around the volleyball program this year. I've talked to some people who are involved and some parents, and there's just a lot of quiet excitement and quiet enthusiasm for this volleyball team. And you'll get to see them next Thursday right here on the Tiger Sports Livestream Network. The next Friday, the Tigers, as we said, go to Bondurant for our take on the Blue Jays at Bondurant Stadium. We'll have that game for you radio style. Yours truly, Chris Juni, will be on the call for that one. The pregame about 7:15, kickoff around 7:30 right here on the Tiger Sports Livestream Network. Again, our watermark there in the lower left-hand corner of your screen. Just add the .com to that. That's our website. You can check out our broadcast schedules and links to our games. So second down and 10 now for Grinnell.
Score updates.
ADM, yep, some score updates here. We'll get that now. Again, that penetration. My goodness. That time from his corner spot, Austin Waldera just shot in. Big loss on the play for Grinnell. Some score updates for you. ADM leads Winterset 24-0. Clear Creek and Manas all over Davenport West, leading them 49-0. West Delaware up on Marion 14-0. And then Newton is up on Carlisle 42-35. And that's some updates we have. And Pella's defeating Ballard now 26-7, that game in the third quarter. So thank you there to Mr. Dan Walker for giving me those score updates. Third down and 14 for Grinnell. Back to pass. Pass thrown out in the flat, caught by Kapanzu. Trying to skip up ahead. Could not get out there. Going to be short of the first down. Had to get out to about the 25. It's going to be 4th and long for Grinnell. The punting unit will come on. Everything seemed to turn on that. In the first half, Tigers were moving down, and they had that pass. It was tipped by a Grinnell receiver. They intercepted by Nevada and ran down back inside the 10-yard line. They got their first score that way. And then Tigers put together a long drive, about an 8 or 9 play drive, and stalled out at midfield. As there is the punt away. It's going straight up. It's going to be short. It does take a bit of a Tiger bounce and kind of spinning back. It can be down to about the 46-yard line. And then after that drive was stalled, that's been it for Grinnell, because then Nevada went down and scored, and then Tigers, they adjusted the defense, but they were getting penetration in the backfield, shutting down a running game. Tigers became kind of one-dimensional with the pass, and just have not had much offense since then. So 3:13 left to go here, third quarter. Nevada leads Grinnell 28-0, as you see on our Cursed Collision Center scoreboard. And now, Hinson in a quarterback. Shotgun, back to pass is Hinson looking, throws it out to deep again, going down there for Edgeland. Edgeland makes the catch. He's knocked out of bounds inside the 15 to maybe about the 14-yard line or so. Don't check that. They're going to put him down about the 12. So big play, long pass down there. Back in coverage was Trenton Holes. And the ball's going to be spotted down about the 12-yard line. So first down and 10 for Nevada at the 12-yard line. Cub is just, everything is just rolling right Nevada's way at this time. Pass again by Hinson, throws it up to his big tight end in the corner, overthrows him. Again, why not? Just basically done what they call a go route. They tell the big fella, you just run straight down, I'll throw it up, you go up and get it like a rebound.
Yeah, and Nelson's been pretty productive the whole game.
He really has.
Like you said, why not?
But good coverage back there by the Tigers. Like Jake Van Compernoll in coverage back there. So second down and 10 now from the 12. They can't get a first down without scoring. Hinson hands the ball off to Grimm over the left side. Grimm tries to cut back, but Tiger Pursuit has him and knocks him down. Nice job that time by the Tiger defense, Dan. You've said it before. That was an example of gap sound. They stayed in their gaps and was there for the cutback when he made it. So pickup of about 2. Ball spotted down about the 5-yard, about the 7. Let me check that. Let me try that again. How about this? How about the 9-yard line? There we go. 3rd and 7, ball at the 9. Now, again, they can't get a first down without scoring. You got to get down to about the 2-yard line. Clock moving, 2:20 left to go here, third quarter. 28-0. Nevada with the lead. And Nevada is going to want and get a timeout. We'll take one as well. 28-0. Nevada with the lead. Back in 30 seconds. You're watching high school football on the Tiger Sports Livestream Network.
At Ramsey Weeks, it's the synergy of insurance and real estate that makes our local office vibrant. At Ramsey Weeks, our success depends on yours in buying or selling property, in insuring your car, home, farm, or business. In your time of need, our success depends on yours. Ramsey Weeks Insurance and Ramsey Weeks Real Estate, 715 Fifth Avenue, Grinnell.
Back here at TT Crane Field, the Tigers' opponent next week, Bondurant Ferrara. They are playing the Waverly Shell Rock Go-Hawks. And not looking good for Bondurant. They trail Waverly Shell Rock 38-0. That's in the third quarter.
What, is that at Bondurant or is that at Waverly?
I believe that's up at Waverly.
Ooh, that's a drive.
That
right
is a
there.
drive. It's an hour and a half for us, hour and 45, and we're about an hour from Bondurant, so there's a little over 2.5-hour drive for them.
Yeah, I'm
boys.
sure they probably go up 330 and then cut across and the back way to Highway 20, and then they still got to go north.
3rd and 7. Hinson fakes the give, looking to pass, throws in the end zone, ball tipped and intercepted at the goal line by Kapadzu. So Tigers get a turnover.
Yeah, nice heads up there, I go both ways on that and said, you're going to be turning over downs. Anyway, you could have knocked it away and probably got a little bit better yardage out of it, but still. Nevertheless, it's an interception, and it's going back Grinnell's way.
trying to hit Cedar Smith, another senior tight end, 6'4", 210. Ball off his hands, and Kapanju right there on the spot. Picks the ball off. It looked to be, couldn't tell if he's in the goal line, inside the end zone, or right at the 1, but he brought it out to the 5. So Tigers get their first turnover of the ball game. Still some time left here.
I'm sure for Coach Hayfield, these are the breakdowns. When you're waiting for players to get on, you should have been ready to go. So, we have to waste the time out there on Grinnell's side because you weren't ready.
We'll take this 30-second break, come back. You're watching high school football on the Tiger Sports Livestream Network.
We're helping build your dreams at the Proline Building Company. Quality that you can trust in every building we construct. Proline is the place to know. We're committed to helping your dreams grow. We're helping build your dreams at the Proline Building Company.
Back here at TT Craney Field, 2:09 left to go here in the third quarter. Nevada leads Grinnell 28-0. I was talking to Dan Walker during the break, and you were just trying to figure out, because Grinnell, the first couple of series, ran the ball well. Regner was getting yards, and Kapanju was getting yards, but then Nevada made an adjustment, and then you say they're like taking a sidestep at the snap to get around the blocker.
Which, that's your discipline of your offensive line. You have to be able to go find that person when you're on that offensive line and make the block. So if Nevada steps or sidestep and you don't go get them, they'll fall right in your back pocket, and they're in the backfield.
So 1st and 10 for Grinnell. Handoff up the middle to Ringler. He's over the right side, trying to push out ahead. Does move the pile a little bit. Good leg surge out across the 10 to maybe the 12 or 13. Pretty good push there by Josh. You're going to get that with Josh.
And, right there's a great example of that offensive line. They pulled their left guard on it, and I don't know why. Usually the golden rule is Nelson stopped at the line and didn't follow. If he would have followed right in the back pocket, he would have had someone in the backfield.
So nice gain by Grinnell, 7 yards, brings up 2nd down and 3. 2 receivers right, 2 receivers left. Back in the backfield, it's to Harsheim. Defensive end cheating up. Harsheim back to pass. So check that new quarterback for Grinnell. Pass is complete out there. Tigers get a first down. That's Camden Harms in at quarterback now for Grinnell. Pass complete to Benny Kapanju. That's good enough for an Edward Jones first down. Tigers' first down, I think, in this second half, and first one since maybe the first quarter even. We'll see if we have that maybe dialed up on our Clarity Eye Cares to replay, and we do. Harms with a good throw. Gets it out there. Nice catch. Oh, it was not complete to number 44, Brian Inus. So first down for Grinnell. Under a minute left to go here, third quarter. Harms, their quarterback. Turns, gives the ball to Kapanju. Kapanju up the middle. Just a quick hitter, and Benny Kapanju pushes out across the 30. About the 32-yard line, close to a first down. So again, Tigers suddenly here finding some life.
That's good to see here with 32 seconds left, because you hate to see a team come in and just start to give up. So they still have a little bit of determination and putting their heads down and running that ball.
So 2nd down and 1. See if the Tigers get the snap off. They don't have to if they don't want to. Play clock and game clock are about the same. They probably will. Hands it off to Kapanju. Benny cuts up inside and gets it out of the tackle. He's across the 32. I think you're going to have that's the end of the quarter. Let's see. Is that going to be a first down? Looks like it is. It'll be another Edward Jones first down, and that is the end of the third quarter. 28-0. Nevada with the lead. Grinnell driving. Back with the fourth quarter in 1 minute as you're watching high school football on the Tiger Sports Livestream Network.
Weldon Drywall is your local drywall professional, serving a 70-mile perimeter around Iowa City. They provide services to commercial builders, general contractors, and residential homeowners. Projects can include commercial build-outs, new construction for multi-family and residential homes, to remodeling projects such as your new addition to basement drywall projects, even down to the simplest 2x2 patch in your wall. Weldon Drywall is here for you. Check out our website at weldon-drywall.com and fill out our contact form for your free estimate today.
This is a story about signs. It's also a story about people's experiences. The humble sign. They are everywhere. But signs are more than just a plaque on the wall, an arrow, or letters on a building exterior. Signs help you leave a legacy or start a new chapter in life. All those signs have to start somewhere, and that's where we come in. We're your trusted partner in everything signage and graphics.
Back here for the start of the fourth quarter. Our fourth quarter brought to us by Brent Nichols State Farm, and that was indeed an Edward Jones first down for Grinnell, the third one of this drive. So Tigers got a little something brewing here. This is 1st and 10 Grinnell, ball thrown 33-yard line. Again, Camden Harms in at quarterback. We were told there's a good competition between Harms and Harsheim. Now Harms on the scramble. He's running for his life, trying to get some blocks. He's being chased and is just pushed out of bounds. Austin Waldera shoves him out of bounds. Harms, sophomore, 5'10", 160. Picked up a good chunk of yards, though. And we got a Nevada player down on the field. Picked up 8, but we got a cramp here. They're going to have to stop play. And right here on our Clarity Eye Care Instant Replay, you see Harms getting down the field. Again, that quickness. Just outrun everybody, got to the sideline and picked up a quick 8. The Nevada trainer just basically dragging the Nevada player off the field so they can resume play. The player was helping him, but that's number 22, Jaden Grimm, with a cramp. And again, generally not serious, but can be quite painful. And they just drop you. You have no choice but to fall down because your muscles just can't move.
Yeah, we had quite a bit of heat today, this afternoon, and playing on this turf is great, but it holds so much heat when the sun comes out. It radiates from the bottom side. So,
2nd down and 2 now for Grinnell. Harms hands the ball to Kapanzu, and that time he cuts back. Kind of got lost in the shovel. I thought he was going to be stopped, but then he pops out and cuts it to the right. He gets out across the 40 to about the 45. Good enough for another Tiger first down, and Edward Jones first down. Now we got a couple of Tigers a little slow getting up. Number 30, Keaton Iverson, gets up, and he's cramping up. And we got another player down, too. Looks like a cramp. Well, you mentioned it, Dan. I mean, it's just one of those days. That turf is underneath there is that, some like composite material that's dark, and it just seems to hold the heat. And
yeah. Well, and we were talking about before we started, each one of us had 2 bottles of water, 3 bottles of water, and we didn't have to make any breaks. So that tells you something about how hot it is that you're not having it go right through you. In our old age, that's good.
Well, you're not old. I am old. 60 years old. Some days my wife says I act like I'm 6, but some days I feel like I'm 16. Other days I feel like I'm 96.
Well, while we're doing this, let's catch the Strand Theater.
Oh, yeah.
What they have going on there.
So we talked about this earlier, but the Strand Theater showing this weekend, the long Labor Day weekend. What a great time and opportunity for you to go downtown, have a meal at one of our fine restaurants, and hit the Strand Theater. But same room for popcorn, because their popcorn and drink specials are second to none. Caught Stealing, rated R, is showing this weekend. Also, Jaws, a 50th anniversary, completely remastered and spiced up with some things rated PG. Weapons, rated R, is showing. Also a Freakier Friday, featuring Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis. So that's showing at the Strand Theaters this weekend. Also, talk about our Firestone specials. Give them a shout out real quick. You can see that on your screen, the Grinnell Firestone store. Highway 6 East of Grinnell. Saving $300 off all eligible AD, IF, and VF radial tires and Bridgestone radials. $200 off all eligible non-AD radial tires. And $25 off Destination Farm and Destination Turf tires. Valid through October 31st. For more details and questions, call your Grinnell Firestone. See Mike and the crew out there. Highway 6 East in Grinnell. So 1st and 10 for Grinnell. Ball at their own 46-yard line. Camden Harms in at quarterback, replacing Eddie Harsheim. Gets the snap, turns, gives the ball off. This time to Ringler up the middle. Ringler, again, contact made at the line, but Josh just plows through. Carson Clem made the contact right at the line of scrimmage, but again, as we've seen Josh did all of last year, just that strong leg drive, pushed it out there, got 4 yards out to the 49. So 2nd down and, check that, got 3 yards, excuse me. So 2nd down and 7 now for Grinnell.
I was looking at our scoreboard. I thought maybe I was having more issues up there, but that's the moon in the top dead center of the page, right above the Nevada 28.
You're not putting a GIF or an emoji up there, are you?
No.
Okay. All right.
Thought I was seeing things.
Harms back to pass and just gets swallowed up that time. Number 88 was in there first for Nevada. That's Cedar Smith, and then he made him go off his spot, then wrapped up and finished off by number 45, John Nelson again. Big defensive end there for the Cubbies.
I tell you what, he's been the all-around player for Nevada tonight. They've had some great running out of that backfield, but I've been very impressed with Nelson.
Lost back inside the 45 to about the 43, so loss on the play brings up 3rd down and 13 now for Grinnell. Nevada showing blitz. Now they back out of it. Rushing 3, dropping 8. Pass out in the flat is tipped away, dangerous. Trying to get it out there to Brian Innes. Pass was tipped away. So it falls incomplete. Going to bring up 4th down. Let's see what Coach Haydenfeld does here. Looks like he does have the punt team coming on. So Tigers did string together 3 first downs in that one, so something to hang your hat on. I imagine we'll see a steady dose from Coach Kleeman of Nevada running the ball, I would guess. As definitely wants that clock to keep moving. There's a punt by Van Compernol. A low kick, fielded about the 13-yard line by Nevada. Tripped up, nice play. On the return that time was number 6, Clay Franzen. Tripped up nicely by Benny Caponzu down there in coverage.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a few moans on that sideline that, when you have to get down there, that's where they always talk about that defensive stance. That you sit, you break down, and then you find the ball. You can't overtrack the ball like that. Those 2 missed tackles, that's 5-6 yards that they gain.
South Tama County is up on Vinton-Shellsburg 20-0. They actually won that game, beating Vinton-Shellsburg 20-8. Dan Walker,
shout out to my alma mater.
There you go.
Well, you know what? In the past years, that freshman sophomore classes, the past 2 years, have won quite a few games. So that group is now juniors and seniors. So,
well, that experience paying off as the Trojans get a big win to start the season. Penalty flag on the field. Going to have illegal participation by Grinnell. I think they had too many men on the field, did the Tigers, so that'll be a 5-yard walk-off. Move the ball out to the 35-yard line, so Nevada will have now 1st down and 5. Hinson still in the quarterback for the Cubs. They lead 28-0, as you see on our Curtis Collision Center scoreboard. Hinson back to pass. Throwing a deep ball again, trying to hit Franzen out there. He has him. Franzen's going to catch the ball, and not get tripped up, but he will go in for the touchdown. 65-yard touchdown pass from Drake Hinson to Clay Franzen. And that will put an exclamation point on this one for the Cubs, as they now lead 34-0, extra point pending. Again, just Hinson that time down. He threw just a nice post route, and the receiver went down, made a move to the outside, cut back to the end, got the back turnaround, just got that one little space separation. And Hinson laid the ball right there, and Franzen just caught it and ran into the end zone for that touchdown. So now Cedar Smith on for the extra point. Kick is up, and it is good. 9:25 left to go in the ball game. Nevada leads Grinnell 35-0. We'll back in 1 minute. You're watching high school football on the Tiger Sports live stream network.
Mayflower Community is currently hiring nursing staff. If you are passionate about healthcare and the well-being of older adults, Mayflower Community wants you. Employees enjoy a daily meal, coffee cappuccino and lotus drinks, fitness center, and a family-oriented work culture that is flexible with your needs. You will find competitive pay and benefits. Mayflower Community, a place to call home and a great place to work. For more information, visit our website at mayflowerhomes.com or call 641-236-6151.
Back here to TT Cranny Field. 9:25 left to go here in the game. Nevada up on Grinnell 35-0. Again, Tigers next week. Travel to Bondurant Farrar. We'll have that game for you on the Tiger Sports Live Stream Network, radio style. I'll be by myself, yours truly. Traveling to Bondurant as the Tigers will take on the Blue Jays, who are trailing in their game as well, 35-0. So looking like, at this point at least, that both teams may be looking for their first win of the season next week. Again, pregame around 7:15, kickoff at 7:30 or so, right here on the Tiger Sports Livestream Network. Also next week, we have volleyball on Thursday night. Sheree Sharp, the new volleyball coach. They have their tournament tomorrow. Will be in action on Thursday night from Grinnell High School Gymnasium. 7 o'clock for that first serve. Right on the Tiger Sports Livestream Network. Again, our watermark in the lower left-hand corner. Add a .com to that. That's our website. You can check out our broadcast schedules and links to our games. Cubs set to kick off here. High boot, straight up in the air. Coming down with it is Vosberg. Has it for a moment. He gets tripped up, and then he runs into a wall. Does get out across the 25 and drop down about the 28-yard line. So nice return by, check that. That was Trenton Scheck on the return on that one. So Camden Harms now back in at quarterback for Grinnell. And we are at the 35-point rule, so the clock will be moving continuously now. Only stopping on timeouts and injuries and at the official's discretion. Also after a score, they will stop it. That is the 35-point rule put in by the Iowa High School Athletic Association. So Tigers here have 8:58. Trying to get something in. Again, at this point, you're just looking for guys to execute, continue to fight, continue to run their game plan. Nevada crowds up. They started with 5 guys. They crowded 3 more. They had 8 guys in the box. What I mean by that is when Nevada first went down in their defensive stance, they had 4 down linemen. And then 1 guy snuck up to make it 5. Then right before the snap, 3 more crept up to the line to make it 8 guys in what they call the box. The box is an area, 2 lines on either 2 yards rather on either side of the line of scrimmage. 2 yards toward the offensive side, 2 yards toward the defensive side. So loss of 1 in the play on the carry by Ringler brings up 2nd down and 11. Clock continuing to move. 8 minutes left to go here in the ball game. Harms' pass out here, caught by Van Compernol. Out across the 30, about the 33-yard line, brought down immediately. Good tackle by Lucas Brown. But they do pick up about, going to give them about 6 on the play. So 3rd down and about 4.5 for Grinnell. We'll have Coach Adam Haydenfeld up here in our Tiger Sports Livestream Network post game. So be sure to stick around for that. We'll have Coach Haydenfeld all season long, home and away, on a Tiger Sports Livestream Network postgame. 3rd down and 5 for Grinnell. Harms, shotgun, back to pass. Scrambles out of the pocket, on the run, trying to scoot up ahead. Does get the first down, then steps out of bounds wisely. He had number 29, Lucas Brown, zeroing in on him, but Harms said, thank you very much. I got my first down, I'll step out. Preserve life and limb. It is another Tiger first down, and Edward Jones first down. Mark and Paul Colpin, your local representatives.
Also, when we got this minute here, let's give a shout out to everyone who's joined us online on YouTube or actually on KJRN Listening and our Citrus Radio Network. So thank you for everyone.
Appreciate everybody tuning in now. Tuning in to helping us watch and listen to Tiger football. 1st and 10, Grinnell. Handoff up to Ringer over the right side. Boy, plows into a debated Cub. Pushed him back for a second, but then got dropped down. Check that. That was number 16 on the carry. Or 17. I can't tell that number, Dan, but we have that here on the Clarity Eye Care Instant Replay. He gets met and then pushed back. Good tackle that time by Nevada. That was our Clarity Eye Care Instant Replay. Cody Flowers, our on-field camera person, doing a great job. As is Lori Walker, our camera person up here in the booth.
Keeping up with all those long bombs.
Got to say nice things about the COO. Dan's title is Director of Operations, but the real boss is sitting to his left. No doubt about it. That pass incomplete. Attended out there for Inus. Pass incomplete brings up 3rd down and 7 again. Clock continuing to roll. We're in a 35-point mercy rule, so they will not stop the clock on incomplete passes or if they go out of bounds or anything like that. Just stop if there's an injury or a called timeout or at the official's discretion. So 3rd down and 7 for Grinnell. Nevada Showing blitz. See if they rush. Yeah, here they come. They're blitzing guys off the corner. Harms scrambling for his life. Tries to cut back, and he is met and dropped. Just brought everybody. Too many guys for the Tigers to block, and Harms did good to get back up to the 40. Actually, spot the ball down now at the 41. So it'll bring up 4th down and about 8 for Grinnell. And that'll be a punting situation for the Tigers. So back to punt is Jake Van Compernol. Franzen and Brown back deep for the Cubs. Ball is snapped. Van Compernol gets a kick out of there. Hits it out, taken by Brown. Fair caught about the 20-21 yard line. Cub football now, 1st and 10 at the 21. Looks like we have a new quarterback in. Maybe for Nevada here, let's see. I don't see Hinson coming out.
Number 15, is that who you have there?
Looks like, yeah, Colton Peterson, a sophomore. Going to get his first varsity football quarterback snap. Again, clock continuing to move. 4.5 minutes and counting. Nevada leads Grinnell 35-0. And now we're going to get a timeout taken by Nevada. We'll take one as well. 35-0, Nevada with the lead. You're watching Back in 30 Seconds. You're watching high school football on the Tiger Sports Livestream Network.
Tired of bad internet and bad service? Switch to MCG and experience the benefits of better internet. We employ a local team that answers the phone when you call. We provide same-day support and symmetrical upload and download. We offer benefits like free install, free router, and no introductory pricing. We offer internet that works when you need it. No data caps, no fine print, and absolutely no hidden fees. Sign up with MCG today and experience the benefits of better internet service.
4:18 left to go in the ball game. Again, the clock is stopped on this one because it was a timeout taken by Nevada. So 1st and 10, the Cubs. New quarterback in for Nevada, number 15, Colton Peterson, a sophomore, 5'11", 170. Going to take his first varsity snap here. Freshman won a shootout game between Grinnell. They won 35-28. Peterson hands the ball off over the left side. Looks like Fletcher Williams, number 20, the ball carrier there. He gets a good push out across the 20 to about the 20, where are they going to spot it down? 24-yard line. Check that, 25-yard line. So pick up a 5, brings up 2nd down and 5. Again, join us for the Tiger Sports Livestream Network postgame. We'll have head coach Adam Haydenfeld on our postgame show coming up after the ball game. Fletcher Williams again dancing around trying to find a hole, and good defense and little block after the whistle there, but
Keegan Hobbs on the stop there, 84.
So Keegan Hobbs makes the stop. Ball out to the 29-yard line, pick up a 4, brings up 3rd down now and 1 for Nevada. Coming up on 3 minutes left to go here in the ball game.
Tell you what, the bugs that are joining us in the press box, I'm ready for a little freeze at least.
They are coming out to say hi to us, that's for sure. Snap is low, handled by the player and picked up by Williams. He gets out across the 40 and gets a Cub first down.
Tell you what, he made a lot of something out of nothing right there. Brought down by number 19, Bryce Graby.
Tigers saw the fumble and raced for the fumble, but he picked it up and cut to the outside and got some daylight. Picked up a first down out across the 40 to the 41-yard line. So 1st and 10, Nevada. Ball at the 41, their own 41-yard line. Now Fletcher comes out and Reed Kelly, another running back, a sophomore, comes in. See if Coach Kleeman dials up his number. Coming up on 2 minutes left to go here in the ball game. Nevada up 35-0 over Grinnell. There's a handoff to Reed Kelly. Kelly gets met and pushed back. Maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage. Now they're going to say he did not. Line of scrimmage was the 41, got stopped at the 40. So whole host of Tigers in on that tackle. From from that left-hand side. So a loss of 1 brings up second down and 11. 1:45 and counting left to go in the ballgame. We just see on our Kurtz Collision Center scoreboard. There's a handoff up the middle again to Reed Kelly, and good penetration by the Tigers that time, getting there in the backfield. Number 20 for Grinnell. Huxby on the tackle there for the Tigers. Otsby with the tackle. Third down and 12 now for Nevada. Colton Peterson getting the play call in, checks his wristband. So does his running back Reed Kelly. 7 on the game clock. Under a minute left to go here. 2-1. They do snap the ball, and Peterson dials his own number, keeps it around the right side, cuts back inside, and he is going to be met and dropped down about the 48-yard line. I think he's going to be just shy of the first down. And going to make a 4th down in about 3. And they blew the ready for play, so Nevada will have to either snap it or punt it here. So Coach Andrew Kleeman is going to go for the punt here. Again, we'll have Coach Adam Haydenfeld up here in our post game. Tigers have nobody back deep. Nevada just going to take the delay, and the clock runs out, and that will do it. 35-0. Nevada gets the win over Grinnell in the first game of the season. We'll take this break. We'll take a 3-minute break for our sponsor members and come back with our post game. You're watching high school football on the Tiger Sports live stream network. Back in 3 minutes.
Hi there, this is Joey Pollei, third generation owner of Polley's in Grinnell. Since 1957, we've been serving the flavors you savored. We only use the freshest ingredients for our salads, sandwiches, pasta, and pizza, guaranteed. Plus, don't forget about our award-winning Liquid Gold Ranch and Champagne Cake. Also, keep an eye out on our social media where we release limited-time pizza specials like a pickle wrap, sweet corn, and buffalo chicken pizzas, just to name a few. See you soon at Polley's in downtown Grinnell.
When change and uncertainty define the times, it's good to anchor to your roots, to honor and nurture them, to remember how it all started, and let that help build the future. Because we know a strong future is built on a solid past, and that past promises mean future follow-through. You can trust us to protect what you grow, build, own, and value. Trust in tomorrow with Grinnell Mutual.
At Ramsey Weeks, it's the synergy of insurance and real estate that makes our local office vibrant. At Ramsey Weeks, our success depends on yours in buying or selling property, in insuring your car, home, farm, or business. In your time of need, our success depends on yours. Ramsey Weeks Insurance and Ramsey Weeks Real Estate, 715 Fifth Avenue, Grinnell.
Weldon Drywall is your local drywall professional, serving a 70-mile perimeter around Iowa City. They provide services to commercial builders, general contractors, and residential homeowners. Projects can include commercial build-outs, new construction for multi-family and residential homes, to remodeling projects such as your new addition to basement drywall projects, even down to the simplest 2x2 patch in your wall. Weldon Drywall is here for you. Check out our website at weldon-drywall.com and fill out our contact form for your free estimate today.
This is a story about signs. It's also a story about people's experiences. The humble sign. They are everywhere. But signs are more than just a plaque on the wall, an arrow, or letters on a building exterior. Signs help you leave a legacy or start a new chapter in life. All those signs have to start somewhere, and that's where we come in. We're your trusted partner in everything signage and graphics.
Back here at TT Cranfield, there we go. Hit the right mute switch, and we'll be all right. Tigers lose the first game of the season, 35-0 to Nevada. We will have head coach Adam Haydenfeld up in our postgame. He's out there on the field, as you can see now, addressing his troops. And Dan, I guess you can say, Nevada just a couple Tiger turnovers. They took the momentum away from Grinnell, and just Tigers never got it back. But the good news is, teams improved the most from the first game to the second game. A lot of these players for the Tigers were seeing their first varsity action, and they're just going to get nothing but better. They have a lot of things to clean up, I'm sure, and Coach Haydenfeld will talk about that. But, just one of those things. Nevada's coming off a really good season. They had experience, size, and just kind of snowballed on Grinnell. They just could never get back into it.
Right, and, we discussed that exactly like you said in the pregame that, what Nevada has brought back to this team and the momentum that they had last year it's been incredible. I mean, this was a really good game to sit and watch, and it was kind of interesting. It started out that first set of downs was a little bit slow start until they really got going, but once they kicked in, they figured out where they're picking up left over from last year.
So Tigers again lose their first one. They go to 0-1 on the season. It's not a district game, and it's non-district. They have two more of those, and then they start district play when they host Clear Creek and Manna here in a few weeks. Again, next week they're at Bonnarant-Farrar. Bonnarant-Farrar lost that game 38-0. Last report we had. And Dan Walker's trying to dial up some scores here for us.
So the latest update here is Clear Creek and Manna over Davenport West. It says it's still in the fourth quarter, 49-0. West Delaware knocks off Marion. Actually, it still says in the second quarter, so there's still some updates to go there. Carlisle is losing to Newton, 35-42. That says it's in the fourth. Picking up here, Pella and Ballard. Pella 26 over Ballard 7. It still says it's in the third. Bonnarant-Farrar, you had a fresher score than that, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I had 38-0 on the website I was looking at, but
so bound, and there's a lot of them that don't keep up. If you're not a true bound school that pay into the system, and you don't have an AD that's sitting there running the clicker all the time, so it doesn't always keep up, but that's okay. We'll figure it out as we go. And like I said, next week, and when we have the Tiger Sports Livestream podcast, I'll cover all the updates, all the scores from there, and then we'll also have a recap of this interview from Coach Haydenfield when he comes up here, and we'll catch everybody up at that time. But we'll wait here for Coach Haydenfield to come up. He's down there he's talking to his coaches in the center field.
Some other scores here from teams around the Grinnell area. Iowa Valley defeats Don Bosco 49-34. Also, we have Green Mountain Garmin losing to Calamus Wheatland 35-0. English Valley defeats North Tama 56-28. So a few scores here from around the area. BGM gets the win. They defeat Columbus Junction 47-14.
Which, if I remember BGM, it's their first year back to 11-man football.
That's right. They were 8-man last few years.
They fought that and didn't want to do it. The state told them they had to, but now they are back to true 11-man football.
Linville Sully is trailing Pleasantville 47-30. Of course, Pleasantville was the team the Tigers scrimmaged. They're coached by former Grinnell teacher and assistant coach Mac Jorth over there at Pleasantville. So Linville Sully trailing them now by 17, 47-30. That game is in the fourth quarter. South Hardin defeated West Marshall 28-7. And that kind of wraps up our scoring for the time being. Again, next week, Tigers are at Bonnarant-Farrar. We'll have the game radio style right here on the Tiger Sports Livestream Network. You see coaching staff still out there in the field hashing things out. Again, Coach Haydenfeld, I see he is making his way up here, I believe.
I'm sure there's always a night you have to have a few conversations.
Oh, yeah.
Figure out what was going on there, but you can't ever throw that away and say that was a total battle on the kids. I'm sure that there's other ones that have influences in what's going on in that ball game. So as they discuss that and they figure out how they're going to rebound in practice, and I'm sure they will be in practice when it comes Monday, even though it's a holiday.
Yep. Lots of things to clean up and look at. Again, I'm sure Coach Haydenfeld will talk about that. He is making his way up here now, so we'll just keep it right here. And again, we talked about the first couple of drives. Tigers were running pretty freely, moving the ball on the Cubs, and then there was an adjustment made, and then that tip pass turnover led to a Cub touchdown. The Tigers answered back with a long play drive that stalled out, and just didn't really happen for them. So we're now joined by head coach Adam Haydenfeld here, and we got to spin your headset. I'm sorry, Coach. Handed him the headset backwards. There we go. So, Coach, obviously, things need to be cleaned up, but I thought it was kind of telling. Game started off great for you. You got the stop. You drove the ball. You moving the ball, rushing, and then that turn, that tip pass, and you responded. Though the kids got a long drive back, but then stalled out. But then after that, Nevada seemingly was doing something in their line or something, but they were getting penetration in your backfield, just shut down your running game, made you kind of one-dimensional.
Yeah, they're a big physical group and unit, right? That's a very good football team we just played, and we knew coming into it we were going to have to be sharp, and we just weren't sharp enough. I mean, that's the bottom line. Like we've got to be able to establish the run, move the ball, and to help us do that, we got to be able to spread it out a little bit, and we just were not consistent enough on either of those tonight. So we did a bad job offensively of keeping our defense out of tough spots. Right, our defense was just on the field too much, and we got to get more consistent moving the ball, both on the ground and in the air. And but that's the film is the best teacher, right? Game experience is the best teacher, and live reps are the best teacher, right? So now we got a starting spot. Now we got somewhere to go from. So we'll get back and we'll get to work cleaning it up, and we'll turn around and get ready to get after it again next week.
The nice thing is, Coach, and when you head to Bonneret next week, a lot of teams, for most coaches, they see the most improvement in their team from the first game to the second. So obviously, as you said, lots of things to clean up, assignments missed, and this and that. But Nevada, as you said, tip your hats to Nevada. They're a good club. So Bonneret Farrar, they lost tonight too. They played Waverly Shell Rock, so they lost 38-0 last score we checked. And I know you're going to practice on Monday, even though it's a holiday, and just get some things cleaned up. But what's a couple things that really jump out at you that I don't want to say glaring, but just that you're going to really focus on this week with your guys?
Well, I think I'm going to talk to the guys on the field after the game. I think we're going to watch the film, and what we're going to find it's a bunch of detail stuff, right? And I think what we're going to find on film is it's 35-0, and it felt pretty bad down there, but we're not as far away as 35-0 feels. So if we got to be committed to getting the details right, and getting those detail-oriented reps in practice, so that when we get out here to the field on a Friday night, it's not as big an adjustment. And that's on us as coaches. That's on all of us as players, and just making sure we are doing our part to where every time we get out here on a Friday night, we're a little bit better than we were before. So so it's just you're right. It's coach speak. You get your best between week 1 and week 2, but it's coach speak for a reason, right? There's a lot of truth to that, and the best experience is live reps and live film, and we got a whole bunch of it, and we'll go to work.
Well, I don't always like to talk about the downers. I do like to talk about some of the positives. You had young quarterback starting in there, had some good reps up in the beginning. There's bright spots of the game that kind of showed through. Josh Ringler, he kind of showed us a little bit of where he left off last year. Very strong running, pushing through the holes and making himself known out there. There's a couple big plays that if we could have, would have, should have put our eyes on the ball and caught the ball, because I think that's what some of the early game jitters back to when I coached football. It's like that first game, you just have to get people to say, all right, we see the ball, we catch the ball, and then we turn and run.
Yeah.
But for the most part, there was a lot of stuff that was put in place that when I roar up in a seat, it's like, it's going to go. Those will eventually go when that comes with practice.
Yeah, it's repetitions, right? I mean, we got 2 kids taking reps that haven't had varsity reps at quarterback, and we're breaking in some new guys as receivers, and it's just different the first time out, and then you get guys that are returning and have been through it. Sometimes they're trying to do a little bit too much because they know they're the ones that have been through it, right? So we just got to all settle in and keep working on getting comfortable, right? And I know. We got receivers that want a couple back. We got quarterbacks that want a couple back. We got guys up front that want a couple back. And this is a group I don't doubt or have any doubt in that will show up on Monday, and we'll come with some fixes, and we'll be ready to get after it and go try and get win number 1 next Friday night down at Bondurant.
Before we take off, can you give us a little status update on injuries?
Yeah, I don't know. I think most of it was kind of some cramping stuff. I think we. We had a couple guys go off early with some, it's first week stuff, right? So I don't know. Jack went out pretty early. I think some of that was just kind of being precautionary, when we got a long season ahead. And I think other than that, I think we're going to be all right. It's we get to talk to Doc and talk to Kelly and Jordan, and they'll keep us all on 2 feet and getting back out there.
Where do we put Will Slagle on the tickers? 4-6 weeks out?
Yeah, I don't know. I think we're going to be, it's going to be what his body tells him, right? So obviously he's going to probably show up next week and say that standing on the sideline stuff's not for me, right? It's time to get it. But we've had that conversation and just knowing it would be no different if it were anyone other than Will. Is you just got to listen to his body, and we got to. We got to get healthy before we even think about getting back out there, because, obviously we want him with us. We want all our guys with us, but we want all our guys, rocking and rolling and ready to go.
All right, well, Coach, thank you much for your time. Appreciate you taking time to come up and talk to us. And like you said, class in session starting Monday, breaking down the film, and we will see you next Friday at Bondurant when you take on the Blue Jays here on the Tiger Sports Livestream Network. Thanks for your time.
Sounds great. Thanks, guys.
All right, that's head coach Adam Haydenfeld here on the Tiger Sports Livestream Network on the Postgame. We appreciate his time, and take care, Coach. And that'll do it for Dan Walker, Lori Walker, Cody Flowers. I'm Chris Juni saying good night from TT Crane Field on the Tiger Sports Livestream Network.
This live stream is a copyright of the Tiger Sports Livestream Network. Reproduction or distribution of this live stream without permission of the Tiger Sports Livestream Network is a violation of the law.